All right, here we go. Welcome to Duck and Reality. So here we want to talk about the things that could have fucked your life up but didn't.
Oh my
I guess
gosh.
that's like the
I don't know if we have that much
overview.
time.
I think that's like the quick overview when people ask me like, what's a pod about? I'm like, because I try to be like all professional, I guess, and be like, it's about, and I'm not, it's just about how your life didn't get fucked up or how it did and you came back. Like, so I think, if you can tell us a little bit about you, Tracy, or I'll say how we got here first, and then we can hear a little bit about you. So I met you. You were a regular at the bar, right? That's how I met you.
Yes. Through Anne, actually.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Annie, who everyone will meet at another time, because we did one episode. We sat and recorded, but Piper, her dog, was here, so none of that audio is useful.
I get that.
I mean, Piper is with her all the time, but she's an adorable addition.
Yes.
So we met there. You are a respiratory therapist. We met during COVID.
Yes.
So to have someone that is on the front lines of respiratory therapy, not only in the hospital, but you are a teacher, of course, made me salivate because I'm like, what is this true? And is that true? And what's this like? And as someone that works in a hospital, it's nice to have like kind of that. Like I would call my sister-in-law all the time for other information that I needed.
Yeah. Got it.
So we became friends with that. And then you're also a budding musician or soon to be published musician. I mean,
Hopefully.
not hopefully you're close. Your
No,
song's
it'll
almost
happen.
done. Yeah.
It will.
You've been performing. You have a show
Recording.
coming. Yeah, you've been recording. You have a show coming up. You've
Yep.
been doing multiple shows now. You started at open mic at the bar that I work at, and then it's just kind of grown from there. Because we
Yes.
do have a resident rock star in our bar. I know he's not usually there on a Wednesday night for open mic, but it is kind of cool that we technically have a rock star.
Yes.
He's the second most famous Ben Flanagan on Google.
Who's the first?
Some marathon runner that we probably need to change. But I do, ever since he told me that, I'm like, you should not have told me that.
No, because we're going to make that number one.
Oh, no, it's because I'm just going to always refer to you as the second. And we're both from Massachusetts, so we can like do that to each other because we have that East Coast edge.
His
too.
music is on other bars' jukeboxes, so there you go.
Oh, he's like a like.
Yeah.
When I say as I choke on my ice, as I say legit rock star, like he is a like
He is.
sold out like
Yeah.
1,000 people.
He's pretty amazing.
venues.
In fact, he is.
He just came back.
My
from tour.
producer.
Yeah. So like, and we will
Wow,
hopefully
my
try to-
producer.
yeah, you have a
weird.
producer.
Yes, I do.
So Tracy, tell us how you got to have a producer. How did you get into respiratory therapist? Tell us like, your bar version of your story.
Bar version of my story.
Yeah.
Well, okay. About 30 years ago, my nephew, who was 2 at the time, had an asthma attack at the doctor's office, and his oxygenation was really low, so he got sent to the hospital. And I kind of was investigating that because I was like working at a recycling bin, and I didn't want to do that forever. And I thought about physical therapy, but the list was like a 2-year wait list. So I'm like, there's got to be something else. So I started just your basics that you need for anything and fell into, well, what does a respiratory therapist do based on what my nephew went through? I'm like, oh, okay. That sounds kind of cool. You basically keep people alive, you help them breathe. So I went into that, and I've been doing it for almost 26 years.
Wow.
I ended up here in California in 2008.
And where did you come from?
I came from Michigan.
Oh, nice.
Me and my family at the time came from Michigan.
So you moved out to California with a family.
Yes,
Okay.
my former partner and our children.
Nice. How many kids was it?
2.
2.
They were 4 and 8, and now they are 18 and 22.
Oh.
Yes.
How long ago did you guys separate? Do you mind?
No, it's fine. We were together for 5 years, so we broke up in 2010.
All right. So it's been
But
a minute.
we're family, we're best friends,
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
if you don't mind me saying, lesbians usually stay friends.
sometimes. I am pretty much friends with most of the people I dated before, but not all of them. And even the ones that did me wrong, I'm still friends with them.
I just, I mean, not to make light of, but I did just get to teach a young lesbian about U-hauling. And it really felt like special in my heart. Like, I was like, I'm like, oh, you have not been a lesbian for very long.
I can say that, yeah, I totally fit that at one point, But now, no.
No. I mean,
As you get older, you're like, what was I thinking?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it goes either way with lesbians. Like, either as they get older, they're like, no one is ever moving into my apartment again or my house again.
Right.
Or they get to be like, before the end of the first date, they're already moved in.
Right. Well, before it used to be, I want to be with you. We're going to live together. We're going to have this family, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, I don't necessarily want to get married, but don't tell me I can't.
Right.
And we don't have to live together. You can have your own place. I have my place. Get together a few nights a week. Because I'm finding as I got older, I really enjoy my alone time. And I have a lot more friends in my life, you included, that have taught me to really embrace that alone time. And they don't need to be with, I don't need to be with you 24/7. I don't want to be with you 24/7 anymore. Because that's usually how it doesn't work.
Yeah, I think I've always operated like that slightly. Like, I love my partners and I love to be with people. And I grew up in a family where, like, very rarely were we alone. Like, but I also was lucky enough that my parents had our own space where, like, we could go and be alone. So, like, I got the best of both worlds and was like, oh, that's valuable. Being able to retreat into your own space and, like, be like, okay, no one's else. And for me, it's like no one else's energy can permeate me. No one else's, like, vibe can, like, suck mine anywhere.
I always had a ton of brothers and sisters because my dad was married 5 times. My mom was married 3 times. And I'm the only one between the 2 of them. So I have, you got your steps and your halves, and they're all my brothers and sisters, but I never knew what that was like to have alone time. And I didn't want to be that serial dater, one relationship to another. Unfortunately, that's kind of where it's ended up, which is why I really, when I love somebody or I give, whether it be a friend or whatever, it's with 100% every fiber of my body. So that's why it's really hard to let a toxic relationship go, whether it be a friendship or whatever, because I've trained myself to, I can't let them go because that means I have to start another one.
Yeah. Or it's even like, for me, sometimes it's not starting a new one. It's like the loyalty.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I told that person I would be here. So now, and my word, like that's my, and when I'm like, all right, this person has not kept their word to me at all, ever.
Right.
Like, never, ever.
Yep.
Why am I still like, I said I'd be there at 10 and it's like 5 after and I'm like sweating with panic because I'm even late. And I'm like, this person will be like, I'm on my way and then not show up or call me for 4 days. And I'm like, that's okay. They're busy.
Right.
I'm like, oh, well.
I'm the same way.
Meanwhile, Schmo doesn't have a job or anything else. But I'm like, meh.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's been something I've recognized over the last few years that I'm working on, and I've come a long way for sure. Because now I'm like, see you on Friday.
Yeah. But I think it does take a long time to get used to that. Like, it takes a long time to transition from like what you grew up with or what your normal was to, it's like, I was actually just today listening to a book called Attachment, based on something. I had a conversation with someone the other day, and although I feel slightly attacked at points in that book, it's really helpful. Yeah, it's really helpful, but it's like, it talks about how like your central nervous system reacts, you know what I mean? Or, and your attachment style reacts, and you're like not even thinking. It's just that, like,
it is.
Yeah, it's a reaction that you don't even have time to think about. And once you can kind of understand that and step back, and then they're like, oh, when you find someone that's, it has a, what is it? It's a avoidant. I'm trying to think of the attachment styles now. Secure attachment. See, I don't even know what it's called. But it's talking about how when you find someone that's a secure attachment type, they seem boring and they seem, and I'm like, oh, that's the same thing as like when you're healing. So much of your life is like boring and you're home by yourself and you're like, oh, should I? Yeah. And you're shitting all over yourself. That's my favorite saying lately that I have, that I have to stop shitting all over myself because I'm like, well, I should be. And I'm like, no, I don't. I can just do nothing and it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, codependency is real, and both my parents were codependent, or were. My mom's no longer with us, and I'm okay. So I have codependent parents. I'm a Gemini, and I work in the medical and educational field. I am a prime codependent suspect right there.
You're just a giver.
Exactly. If I would do for myself what I do for other people, life would be much better. But I'm not complaining about life. It's just an area of my life that I know is there, and then I've worked on, and I may fall back sometimes because we all slip. But for the most part, I've come a long way, and it's not me anymore. Though I am going to do anything. If you needed me to move a mountain for you, if I could do it, I would do it.
Right.
It's not codependent. That's just who I am.
Yeah. And I think that's an important distinction. Mm-hmm. And it's an important distinction. What you just said is like, yeah, I may fall back, but at least you're aware of it. You're trying and you're moving forward in other ways.
Right.
So like if you backslide on one, but you made, 4 or 5 steps forward on the other parts, like I'd say that's pretty good. Like, especially because most people don't even know what their shit is. Or they're working on all the wrong shit. Because I was doing that for a long time.
It's funny. I just had this conversation with somebody the other day because I'm writing a song currently called Too Much. Mm. And it started out with a reflection of myself. Because sometimes when you have no control over some aspect in your life, so you're laser focused on, well, I can control what I can do with this person. I can do this for this person and this for the, and it's too much for them sometimes, especially if they're not used to being treated well. So if you come across, whether it be a friend or a love interest, whatever, who's so used to being shit on and so used to being taken advantage of and not really knowing what real love is from whether it be a friendship or whatever, they don't know how to handle it. So when you're like, oh, I can do this, or yeah, let me do this or whatever. And they're like, whoa, wait, that's too much. So that's how the concept of the song started. Mm-hmm. Because of an incident that I'm not going to go into, but
I didn't know you were writing a song about me. I know it's not about me. I just had to make that joke.
Could have been. You never know.
No, I mean, it could be because I am one of those people that I just, when someone does stuff that's too nice for me, I'm like,
I don't deserve this. What are you doing?
Yeah. Like right now, I want to finish telling me the rest of your story because that's.
Oh, and it became like, how can I make this more about, not so much about myself. So it's more about the world and too much pain, too much hate, not enough love, basically, is where we're headed with this song. But I'm not quite sure how we got on that subject. But anyway.
About being too much for people.
About being too much for people, yeah.
And about how you probably aren't too much. It's that they can't handle it. Right. Because, when someone is too nice to me, my spidey sense immediately is like, oh, why? What do you want from me? Yeah. Or what do you need me to do for you? Like, and a lot of times for me, it is what I can do for someone else because that's what I do. Is I'm a helper too, and people are always like, oh, Siobhan will help. Siobhan will do this. Siobhan, and then I don't feel like I can say no and then like in my immediate instinct to be like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's figure it out. Let's do, even if it's something I don't know how to do. I'm like, all right, well, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Because I've always lived my life in a way that's like, all right, well, fuck it, I'll figure it out. Like. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna let myself drown. So like, if I'm in charge of that, or if I do that, like, I'll figure it out. It might not be greatest, but I'll get it done.
Learning to say no is very important, and I'm learning how to do that.
Yeah.
So if you need lessons,
I do. I'm terrible at saying no.
I'm really good at giving sound advice to people.
I'm really good at.
I'm awful at taking my own advice, though.
Preach, sister, preach.
Most people are.
Yeah.
Well, don't talk to that person because what are you benefiting from it? Get away from them. Don't do this. What's the matter, Trace? Well, I was talking to... Why are you talking? Yeah. Whatever. It's how I am.
Yeah, no, but I think that you probably are a bit happier in your life than I am in some ways because you do that. Like, I'm always like, that person never thinks about me. But then when I'm in front of them, I'm like, everything I do has to be about that person. Because otherwise they'll be so sad. Like you can't have both. Happy. Yeah, and like, I'm really, like, I think no one thinks about me, but I also have to do everything for them. Like, how's that therapy session going? Not well, apparently.
I don't really have a lot of them people in my life anymore. I've gotten rid of them, whether it was my choice or their choice. For whatever reasons, whatever messed up reason they may have for thinking that they needed to do that. It's all worked out for the best. And the people I have in my life now, such as you and, all of them, Tori, Hannah, Crystal, Anna, even Sandy to a point. Love you, Sandy. You're busy. I get it.
Yeah.
There are people that I know that if push came to shove, they would be there for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that list of knowing most of those people or all of those people on the list. I would agree. And I would say there's probably a few more on there that would surprise you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I would also say there's a few on there that you probably have on that second list that wouldn't show up. And those are, and I'm only saying that just because it's like you have a good inventory of the people in your list and who would and who wouldn't. And I think I'm still working on that because I think sometimes I am like, oh, that person certainly would show up. And then I'm like, oh,
they didn't.
For the simplest things, it's like, okay, that's not something to not be friends with them for, but it's like, okay, well, that person should be in this category of my friendships. Right. And like, you don't have to get rid of those people. You don't have to be like, you hurt my feelings. You just shift them in a way. Exactly. But I think I used to have to be the person that was like, well, I'm not going to talk to you that much anymore because. Right. And like, you don't need to do that.
No.
You don't need to like, it's shifting the perspective and shifting your relationships with people. Like, just because you're shifting it doesn't mean you need to explain it to them. That was a big thing.
Right. And in reality, those people that aren't really in my life anymore, if push came to shove and I got a phone call at midnight saying, this is what's happening, I really need help, I'm going to do it.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, oh, well.
I like to think I would be like, okay, but I'm in bed with someone amazing. Good night. Like,
right, exactly.
I don't think I could, but I want to be that person. That's like, it's another human being. Like,
right, exactly. I might not have anything to do with you after, but as long as I know that you're okay, then I will feel better about myself.
You're going to triage the situation and then walk away.
I got off track.
Oh, we did. But that's basically what a podcast is getting on top. And we do have our cocktails and we are, this is what it is about life. And those are the tangents I think are where you change people's lives. Mm-hmm. And the tangents are where you hear the things that change your life.
Yes.
And, but as a respiratory therapist, not to get off a further point, meeting you during the pandemic was like your stress level, like, it's a respiratory illness but nobody knew and so it's like we had conversations about ventilators, which I've always kind of had a problem with before this because anyone I've ever known has gone on a ventilator. Not everyone.
Not done well.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say not everyone, but almost anytime someone tells me, oh, they just put my loved one on a ventilator, in my head, it's like, oh, well, that's done. Like, oh, I hope they're an organ donor is usually my first thought, which is probably not a great one, but it is also probably
understandable.
True, about 80 to 90% of the time.
Especially during COVID, because it was so new. It's hard to believe it's been 2.5 years. Yeah. It's still happening. It's just not like it was.
It's not.
We have a better handle on it.
So do we still call it a pandemic now? Or is it now just like...
no.
Right.
But COVID still exists. I mean, it's not going away. It wasn't handled right. We won't get into the politics of the situation. Had it been, we wouldn't be where we are. Exactly. But unfortunately, it's here. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
But during that time, it was new. We didn't know anything about it. And at the time, don't put anybody on an event because once you go on an event, they're probably not coming off unless it's a terminal wean or they pass away. And
so here's my question, and I know this isn't for you to answer for like the country, but like as a respiratory therapist, even though you didn't know a lot about it, did they know putting someone on a vent would mean they wouldn't come back, or were they really trying to put them on vents to like give their bodies a rest and bring them back?
No, the whole purpose of it was to help the patient. But at the time, the statistics were showing once you're on a ventilator with this disease, at that moment, it's not good, and you're probably not going to come off.
Sure, we got everything.
Sorry.
No, it's good.
But that thought process changed throughout that time.
Right.
And then it was, because there were certain things you didn't want us to do. Put them on a BiPAP machine because it's an open circuit, and you don't want to spread it. Don't do a nebulized treatment because the patient's breathing out, and they're breathing out in the air, which that still was held true for a long time. But at some point, you got to do something.
Right.
And if a ventilator is what they need, you got to put them on a vent. Because sometimes you don't do it, you delay it, and you do all these other things, and it hurts the patient more. So their outcome isn't going to be good because you didn't do it fast enough.
Right.
So it's really no different than any other disease when it comes to time on a vent. Either you got to do it, you don't want to do it because for example, people may not understand this, but somebody with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is a lung disease, especially if it's emphysema, which means the lungs are shot.
Right.
Putting one of those patients on a ventilator is not good because the odds of them coming off are slimmer because their body gets used to breathing so irregularly that you put them on a ventilator and it makes them breathe normal. They don't want to give it up. So your body's like, no, I'm good. We'll stay right here. So it's harder to get them patients off a ventilator. So it was the same concept as once you put somebody on a vent, it's harder to, and it's true. Anytime, there's always that risk that you can't come off. And the same thing was with COVID, that once you got them on a vent, that was it. Nothing you're going to do because they're so sick. And it was a lot of learning.
Right.
It was a tough time. I saw more death now mind you, I work at a small community hospital at that time. So what I saw was nothing compared to what people in Oakland or San Francisco or Los Angeles or, my old places where I used to work back in Mission, all them bigger hospitals. But I saw more death in 6 months just at this little hospital than I probably did in 25 years. And at a one-time setting. When you're having 4 or 5 patients die on you a day for a year, almost a year straight, that's a lot.
It's a lot of death.
It's a lot of death. It's a lot of trauma that you went through that so many people that I work with, whether it be a nurse or a doctor, have PTSD, myself included.
Right.
I'm sure it's not been addressed by them either.
No, and it probably won't for another 5 to 10 years when it actually starts creeping up and it's like that toxic shit that's in your body that no one's dealt with yet. And then it starts coming out in other ways. And it's almost like the stuff that happened with the guys from Vietnam. Like a lot of their PTSD was more immediate and acute because like they went from war to peacetime in a matter of hours, where you guys are going from a time of like normalcy to pandemic time to death to, it's still going on, but the numbers aren't as high now. So it's fine. It's over. We're through it.
And then we keep getting hit with every wave of new variants.
There's waves and there's this, and then there's no one doing it. Like if you look out to most of the world now, I mean, I guess in the last like day or two, I've started to see masks again in more random places. But like for the last few weeks, it's been like, COVID's over. So I can only imagine what it's like in hospitals where it's coming through.
Yeah, in hospitals, you're still wearing a mask.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you're a patient or an employee. I honestly don't see that going away, at least here on the West Coast. I don't know what's happening over there.
Yeah.
I heard rumors that they don't do it in New York, which that would surprise me. I'm not going to say that that's true, but...
I mean, I can't check New York that easy, but I could text my sister-in-law and my aunts in Boston and find out.
Right, that's true. So... there was a lot with it. I mean, my second worst day of my career ever was during COVID. I don't know if you want me to go into that.
Sure. But... I mean, whatever you were comfortable sharing. I mean, I think it just gives people a good window into it, and where it's not politicized or it's not, anything. Like this is just facts that happen to you, and it's your career, and it's what you've seen in 26 years in the medical field. You've seen a lot, I've
seen a lot. I've held brains in with my finger from a gunshot wound in the head. I've to have something like this be my second worst day of my career.
Yeah. You just went over, like, you just glossed over, like, a Grey's Anatomy episode. Like, there's a gunshot to the head. I kept my finger in there and, I don't know, like, was something
keep
else
the gray matter from coming out, Day in the life.
That has, like, Shonda Rhimes written all over it.
Well, I'm probably sure they've had that episode, too. This day, it was this gentleman. He was 45 years old. And he was unvaccinated because this was in the beginning before the vaccinations even existed. And he had been on what we call a high velocity oxygen. So they're delivering 100% oxygen at a high velocity because he just couldn't oxygenate without it. And they put another mask over it. So he was actually getting double that because the saturations is a reflection of how you're oxygenating in the body. So that's what we look at. And they weren't good without it. So he was breathing over 50 times a minute, which you're not going to do that for long.
Average time of breathing per minute is what, 15, 16? I mean, that's actually even kind of labor.
8 to, they say 8 to 12, but really up to 20 is fairly normal.
Right.
But once you start getting above that, there's a reason for it usually.
Right.
So your body's it's not going to handle that very long. Eventually your body's just going to be like, I'm done.
Right.
And they're just going to stop. So
out of almost like exhaustion.
Exactly. So we were trying to do it before it became an emergency, a code, right? Excuse me. So talking to him, holding his hand, he's really scared. And I'm like, it's going to be okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to give you some medication. We're going to put you to sleep. We're going to put a breathing tube down. And you probably aren't going to wake up right away because we want to keep you sleeping as long as possible so your body has time to heal. He's like, okay. He's like, I'm going to be okay. I'm like, yeah, you're going to be okay. Don't ever say that.
Right.
So
you didn't see the eye roll that went along with that.
Yes. Okay. Well,
because what else
at
do
the
you
time,
say? But what else could you say? You know, like
there was no indication to think that he wouldn't be. Right. Unfortunately, he was so bad that as soon as you took the oxygen away to intubate him, I mean, you're still what they call bagging, resuscitating. Right. It's a bag that delivers oxygen.
You're doing like the beach side, kind of bag over someone's head.
Right. Right. It still wasn't adequate enough to keep his sats up. So you really had to get it in as fast as possible. Well, we couldn't get the tube in and his sats just plummeted to like 20. And when you get to that point, he went into cardiac arrest and we couldn't get him back and he died.
So basically COVID gave him a heart attack. Or is that, I'm just
not really a heart attack. It gave him, his lungs were so bad that he was hypoxic. He had hypoxemia, meaning he didn't have enough oxygen in his blood to perfuse his organs, more or less. Right. Short version of it. And we took his oxygen away to put that breathing tube in so that we could do a better job of
giving him
oxygen and ventilation. But he was so bad that just those few seconds, and every time we'd go back, we could never get his sat back up where we needed it to be. And it ended up he just coded after that and he died.
Right.
And it was devastating to everybody. The doctor, to me, the nurse that was intubating with me was her first intubation. We were bawling, cleaning up the room. And it's really hard to talk about it. I'm really doing a good job controlling
You are emotions. Really.
But that happened more than once. So you're trying other ways to try to intubate this patient by not knocking them out, making them stay awake, because that was the problem. Once they would go to sleep with your medication, they couldn't contribute anything. And so we tried it the other way. It's kind of cruel.
Right. I was going to say, and then if you're not giving them enough medication, then they're in more pain, and then you're fighting through pain, and
they're awake as you're gagging them with a tube. So it's like a lose-lose for the patient. But they were alive, right?
It's like, that's a terrible place to be in.
It is. And that was by far the second worst day. And I've had some bad days, but it's the second worst day because it's something I'll never forget. I remember what he looks like.
Right.
I remember a conversation. I remember how his hand felt when I was holding his hand. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And pandemic, COVID, is what forced me to really look at what I wanted to do with my life. And I was burnt out. I mean, I was working 100 and some hours every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we were short-staffed on top of it.
Right.
People are out sick or we don't have enough to begin with. I mean, what are you going to do? Everybody was getting it.
Right. So we had
had nurses die from it. We had, their family members dying, so they have to go out.
Right.
And it's like, what do you do? So you do what you got to do. And I was tired. I'm like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. So that's how I ended up into teaching.
Right. Yeah, but even that, like, and I mean, I understand the tired, and sometimes I wonder if people give the credit to the tired medical like staff that, and I don't, but how do we ever? You know what I mean? Like when you talk to someone that's been in hospice for, you know, a lot of years, like that's mind bending to most people.
Yeah.
Like you've been with like 3 people a day that have just died, and you're like, oh, so such a nice experience and this and that, but like you can't relate to that person. Like most people can't relate to that person in any meaningful way because they've never even seen a dead person. And now this person that you're talking to sees them all day long, every day.
Right.
And it's like, no, I'm so grateful that I get to do that. Like, but that's not a sick, twisted person. That's a person that really understands like kind of the honor of being with someone that dies. And you know what I mean? But like, that's hospice is, I'm using that because it's most of the time hospice is like a place where it's,
and that's what hospice is for. And that's the difference.
Right.
They go into that job knowing that their job is to make people comfortable as they leave this world.
Right. So like I'm saying, most people can't relate to that person and like what they do is so unrelatable. Right. And now we're like, oh, half the medical field, that's now your job, but we're not going to treat you or talk to you any differently.
Exactly.
Or give you any more days off or any more pay or any more anything.
Right.
And like, then when you're salty about how people act about the pandemic, we're going to be like, well, who are you to tell us anything? Like, no, you just dealt with 4 people that have died on a day that you shouldn't have had to deal with anyone that died.
That's what probably bothered me more than anything during that time is everybody has a right to their opinion. Right. Once the vaccines were out, it was highly recommended you get it. Did the government help with their back and forth message? No. But you can't sit there and tell me what is wrong with this vaccine when you don't even know what's in it.
I like to equate it to, I'll ask someone if they've ever had a Funyun, because Funyuns are fucking delicious.
Funyuns are good, and I don't even like onions.
Well, it's also a Funyun. There is no real onion.
No onions in it. I know.
I don't think there's real anything.
I like onion rings, though, so that counts, right?
No, but my point in the Funyun thing is it's not really fun, and it's not an onion. So, like, but you've eaten it, right? Right. So do you know even what the fuck is in it? No, you do not. Do you know what's in that drink I just poured you? No, you don't, but you're going to drink it without asking me a question. Yep. Have you ever snorted a line of Coke? That's my other favorite one. Oh, you have? You put Coke in your body, sir? Oh, thanks for admitting that. Now, what's the problem with the vaccine?
Oh, I don't know what's in it.
Oh, but you want to do one more line of that Coke that you've done like 1,800 times?
Right.
You pay people to give you drugs that you don't know what are in them.
Right.
Like trying to get people to test their drugs for fentanyl right now. Like, dude, just test your drugs. I work in a bar, and that's why I'm using this as an example so hard, because like that would be my craziest thing is someone would tell me like, I can't take a vaccine, I don't know what's in it. What was in that Funyun? Did you ever even think to ask what was in a Funyun? No, but how many bags have you eaten? Exactly. You know what I mean? Like it's... Do you know what was in the flu vaccine? Because you've probably taken that for 15 years.
The difference is all those other vaccines, they're giving you a part of the flu or a strand of the flu or a part of when you get your TB vaccine.
They are literally giving you TB.
Putting it in your body to see if you react to it. You don't. Great. This is going to work for you.
Great. You didn't already have it. We gave you a little bit of
nothing like that.
Wait. Well, because I think that's kind of what scared people. And to be honest, like I only have one. I have the J&J, and I have not gotten boosted.
I've had my first booster, but not my second yet.
And that is a point of contention for a lot of people in my life. So I just stopped talking about it because I was like, one, don't trust a lot of doctors because of my history.
Understandable.
2, I didn't want to put anything in my body that might cause inflammation in any way. And like, that's not something I can explain to someone so easily. Like, I don't even care if it would save me from COVID. Because you know what? COVID probably, it's not going to kill me. Like, it could. And maybe that's like you know what I mean? Like, I'm a healthy girl. Like,
nowadays,
once I knew
you
more
can
about
probably
it.
say that.
But like,
before,
but
you
even
could
before,
not say that.
I couldn't have. I did.
You did. but
I shouldn't have.
theoretically, no.
But like I also was like, I'm not around people. I'm staying away from people that could be affected. You know what I mean? Like I was being smart about it, but I was also like, I need a little bit more information. But the biggest reason I avoided the vaccine is because I kept hearing people say how it like inflamed things, and it like they felt like achy and swollen, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm not doing that.
So's the flu shot,
and I haven't had a flu shot since I broke my neck. I haven't.
And not everybody can take those vaccines.
Right.
I get that.
And it's nothing other than it's a few days of extra pain, but those few days of extra pain for me are not a few days. It's a few weeks. It could be like 2 months of pain levels that are higher. And I was just like, I can't do that when I am just getting back into the world.
No, and I understand that. And it's totally legit.
And I'm not saying it's right.
There's totally legit people out there who cannot take it.
Right.
I have students that are unable because they have allergic reactions to the flu or this or that. It's totally, we get it. Right. It exists. We understand that.
But
however, if you're not going to take it, then you need to be mindful of the people around you.
Amen.
Wear your mask.
Yeah.
Because me wearing my mask does not protect me.
Right.
Me wearing my mask protects you.
Right. But I think that the government did a shitty job of all of that because of everything that Fauci
Part
said.
of it was because they were learning just like we were as we went along.
Mm. All right, but we're not going to, let's not get into that.
We weren't going there.
Yeah. Let's
not. It is the truth.
It is the truth. And you should wear your mask. You should get vaccinated.
I don't wear my mask all the time now either.
Right.
Because now I'm like.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, if you're in a spot where it says to wear a mask, like, don't be a douche. Throw a mask on. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Like, I don't think there's any problem with a company or business saying, hey, if you're going to come in here, throw a mask on.
You have a right to do that. Yep.
Like, I don't think you should be an asshole and be like, meh, meh, meh. No, I don't care. Like, just like I don't care about a lot of the other things you want to bitch about. Like, work harder, no one cares. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, they don't. Like, put your mask on, wash your hands. Like, don't be an asshole. Life is really not that hard. Just don't be an asshole. Like,
it's really not.
I think we've talked about this, and I've said to you, like, it really makes me mad because it actually
don't be an asshole.
Yeah, don't be an asshole.
It's not that difficult.
It's not, because it actually takes more effort to be an asshole.
Because you're literally going out of your way to piss somebody off,
right?
Or hurt somebody.
Like, it legit takes you more effort to be an asshole than to just be a good person.
Exactly.
Like, because you can just be a good person by walking away. When someone starts talking to you and you're like, nah, I'm not doing that. Like, I legit sometimes will say to someone, yeah, I'm not doing that, baby, but you have a good day. Like,
I've done that too.
Like,
somebody wants to argue with me. I'm like, I love you way too much to go in this. We just got through something. I'm not going to do this with you.
Yeah, or a complete stranger. I can see someone wants to be an asshole. Like, whatever you say to me, I'm just going to let, like, go right in one ear, out the other. Like, I'm not going to engage with you. Why would I do that? Like, I have other shit going on. Like, I don't have 10 minutes to give to you, homeless person on the street. Like, or not home. You know what I mean? Like,
just person.
Now I'm an asshole for saying the homeless person on the street, but like,
no,
in all honesty, like,
we don't know why they're homeless.
No, and I'm not saying that they're just like the easiest thought because we live in or just outside of Oakland, so like that's
She really doesn't dislike homeless people.
I don't.
Just for clarification.
I don't. I often give them too much money and my leftovers, even when I'm excited about them. But then I feel like an asshole because then I could be somebody
walking across the street
when I can't
didn't like the way you looked at them and you didn't realize you did it.
Or sometimes it's one of my regular customers at the bar where I'm just like, yeah, I can't with you today, and like that's what I went to say, but I went to homeless because I don't want one of my regulars to be like, oh, is she talking about me? Does she do that to me? Yeah, I probably do that to you on sometimes.
We do it with everybody.
Yeah, and on some days I just can't, and like I'm usually real honest about it. Like, I'm sorry, I can't today. Like, I've said that to more people. Like, I've just been like, I love you. I'm just going to go over here. I don't know. I don't have it. Which I think people appreciate more than.
Absolutely. Not. I know I would if I was doing like today. So we'll make this really quick. I have a messed up knee and I have a messed up back. I'm in a lot of pain. And I was at work today. And you know how you are when you're in pain. Sometimes you're really short or you can come across as bitchy, right? So I told my students at the beginning of class as we were getting ready to go, by the way, I'm in a lot of pain, doing the best I can. However, if you feel like I'm being short with you or coming across in a way that you don't understand that may seem more aggressive, you have permission to call me out on it because I'm not trying to, but this is probably what's going on. So please let me know. So yeah, it can happen to anybody.
Wait, I want to know this because did you get called out on it?
I did not.
Okay. Do you think they would have?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Because the other day I had this moment with one of my friends, and I said, and I've had this moment a few times and I kind of want to get into your pain, but like, because I am in pain all the time, and I tell people that a fairly decent amount, like. I don't talk about it a lot, but I do remind people that I love, like, or I'm moving all the time because I'm stretching because I'm like this, that.
Right.
So one day I had a day and I was at work and someone said, I'm going to come by. And I was like, just to let you know, I'm not there today. Like, I'm in pain. I'm real short. Like, I'm super bitchy. Like, I'm on the cunt version today. Like, I can't, just beware. And they came in and they started talking to me about stuff and they were bitching about their day and whining like normal, and reminded them, babe, I love you. I want to hear this, but can we do it tomorrow? You're not getting the best version. Like, so many warnings.
Right.
And this, I get it. It's fine. I love you. Blah, blah, blah. And then they started asking me for advice about stuff, and that had to do with work stuff that we have in common and other things. And I finally and they were just like, I just want to know that I'm pulling my own weight.
You're asking me the wrong time.
And I'm like, what? And they're like, well, I just want you to tell me if I'm pulling my own weight or not. And I just was like, I'm like, so wait, you needed to come here and have this 45-minute conversation with me to find out if you're pulling your own weight. They're like, yeah, I just, I want to know, and am I putting my best foot forward, and am I trying my hardest? And I finally was like, so you really came to me to find out if you're trying your hardest? No, our camera's beeping. It probably just shut off. I was trying to do some tiny bit of the visual just to figure out how all this works, but
battery died.
Yeah, something. Technology. I'm figuring it out. I'm such a Luddite before now. Ask Auntie Whitney if you don't know what that means. Whitney Cummings is my favorite. So he's going on and he's like, oh, yeah, I just want you to tell me if I'm trying my hardest, if I'm this. And I'm like, I can't tell you if you're trying your hardest. The only person that can answer that is you. Like, wait, you're over 30 years old, yet you're here talking to me about whether or not you're pulling your weight. How would I know that? I don't know how much you weigh. I don't know how much you can try, how much you don't try, how much, like, I can't tell you if you're giving your best because I don't know what your best is. Like, are you? And he was like, well, I guess. I'm like, that's it. Then you're not. Like, why are you here asking me if you're giving your best? Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know? Like, you're really 30 years old and you're asking me if you're pulling your weight? Like, you don't know how to pull your own weight at anything? And I got so angry because I'm like, and then I was like, I caught myself. Like, I kind of like laid into them, and I was like, said a bunch of that and some other stuff that I shouldn't have said. Or no, I mean, at this point, like,
maybe
it's not
they
even,
needed to hear
they
it,
needed
but
to
not
hear
at that
it, and that's why
moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, I guess that is the moment. You know what I mean? Like, and then I started to beat myself up about it, and like immediately was like apologizing and not backtracking, but like I told you I wasn't there, and I told you, and they were like, no, it probably is stuff I can hear. And luckily they are in the kind of spiritual fields where like they could be like the universe definitely, like, because I was like, and as much as I love that and I do trust the universe and know it, like, I also was pissed that they kept pushing me into that spot because now I have to deal with the fact that I'm dealing with all my own shit and in my own pain. Now I just wasn't the version I want to be with this person. So now I have to like deal with all the fact that I didn't live up to the person I want to be every day. And the fact like now it's like still, I'm saying that now because it eats me alive that I was so kind of harsh, and I can get harsh. I mean, I'm usually pretty on point because like, harsh but true is kind of like the phrase I keep hearing from people. Yeah. Well, one, I'm an East Coaster.
Don't ask me a question if you don't want me to answer it honestly.
Fucking men. I don't have time to lie and remember the bullshit I told you, so I don't. Like, I don't lie to you. Like, if I do, it's probably something stupid because I forgot or I was real high. Like, let's just be honest. I am who I am. I say what I mean what I say. I try not to say mean shit.
And those are the people I want in my life.
Even though it's really fun sometimes. Like, and even that, when I have a catty moment or I have a moment, I'll be like, oh, I'm being catty, but it's fun. Like, because sometimes it is, but I do try not to be
I get it.
Harsh and mean to someone when I don't need to be. Life is harsh and mean enough.
Right. It is.
But I was also like, why would you push like, yeah.
I've warned you multiple times.
Yeah.
So at some point, you have to take responsibility
Right.
for how I reacted because you kept pushing me after I asked you not to.
Right. But I also feel like that's a shitty place to kind of put someone else in. Almost like they put me in a shitty situation, so now I'm going to put it back on you, which doesn't fix anything. You know what I mean?
It doesn't, and it's not an excuse for either party's behavior. However, if you're telling them the arm is falling, that's so typical. If you're
it's just these male microphones.
Exactly.
All the time.
But if you're
They never stay hard the way you want them to.
Luckily, I don't have that problem. If you're telling somebody, though, from the very beginning, I'm just letting you know I can't deal with this, so I'd rather we not go there, and they continually go there anyway, okay, they're purposely doing it at that point, in my opinion.
Yes, and that would make sense and perfect sense to someone that understood and had boundaries. But, so we were saying you're a musician.
Yes, sort of. So are we done with the respiratory? Are we done with
No,
that?
I don't know. We'll probably come back to it. At this moment, though, I think we have to pause because I have to pee.
Okay, let's pause.
I get so caught up into the perfectionism thing, though. That's my
I'm the same way.
That's probably my biggest trauma hurdle. What do you call it when you like figure out what your traumas are, but traumas are and still are trying to heal from them? Like, is there a word for that?
Your triggers?
I fucking hate that word.
But I understand that, but.
Well, just because it's been so co-opted.
Yeah, I don't really have an answer for you then.
And plus, like, sometimes, like, what I know my traumas are, I don't get triggered by them. I just, like, or I guess maybe I do internally, but no one would ever else notice that.
Yeah.
So it's, like, not the colloquialism of being triggered.
True.
I just hate that fucking term. It's like journey. Unless, like, Alexis from Schitt's Creek is saying it, I don't want to hear some journey out of someone's mouth. Not that journey. Oh, it's my journey. It's your life, bitch. Like,
your path.
You went down the wrong road on your life. I mean,
destiny.
I mean, all of us have. Yeah.
I don't know what my destiny is at this point, but
I don't think that anyone. I mean, I think we all have like. Wow. What?
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't believe in destiny. Like, I mean, I do in a way, but like as a bigger picture. Not as like you were in this bank on a Tuesday and that was your destiny. Like,
I get you.
No, like that's like the difference you're supposed to make in the world. That's like your
purpose. Though, I think is more fitting than anything. What is your purpose in life?
Right.
My purpose in life. It took me a while. I still think I'm learning that.
Just make sure you stay close to your mic, singer. You should know that.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, if you need to adjust it or you want to adjust it.
Is that better?
Yeah. It is.
My purpose in life. I think we're all here for a reason. Do I think that everything that happens, there's a reason for everything? I don't know if I can engulf that completely because I don't know the reasons for 30 children getting killed at school. Mm-hmm. What is the point of that? I don't think there's a purpose for that.
No.
I don't care who you are. You're not going to tell me that somebody's 6-year-old that gets murdered in school, well, that was intended that way. I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, same with like when a baby dies, like it was like 2 days old or hours old or something.
It's the worst thing you can tell a parent. Well, everything happens for a reason. No, it doesn't.
No, I think
some things happen and it's just shitty and it sucks.
Yeah. And I think we have kind of had that conversation a few times now too. I think it's like we both have that similar point of view. Is like things happen for reasons, but not everything. Mm-hmm. Like, and you can't like the world is in the universe is like vast, and like there's so many things going on, and like it's only this vibration at this time that we're even aware of. So like the fact that we want to say like everything happens for a reason. No. Like when something happens for a reason. Like that car missed you for just like for no explanation.
Right. You're meant to be here a little bit longer.
Yeah. Like those are the moments I think that something did happen, or like someone maybe, and this is kind of a warped, probably sense of perspective or worldview, but like I think sometimes when those car accidents happen, it's because something else didn't happen.
Yeah.
And like, and I also think sometimes car accidents happen where someone died and that was not what's supposed to be happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think those moments can be like sliding doors, like where like that happened because it was making something right in the universe, or like they had survived something they weren't meant to before.
Right.
And like now that lesson is for other people. But I also think like sometimes people lose fights or lose, like they got into an accident that was supposed to just change their life, but instead it ended it.
Right.
Like I think that shit happens kind of by accident also.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm saying like most of the time, I think like when those small moments of you living or whatever, those are the things that were supposed to happen.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Like, yeah, I'm always afraid to say exactly how I feel because I'm like, oh, that person's going to come back at me. Anyway. And I have been like this way before the internet existed.
Yeah, that's all about
inclusion.
Right. But, you know, the whole everything happens for a reason is more of a religious concept.
Oh, that's probably why I've always been like, yeah, that's not true.
God knows what he's doing.
Really?
Not saying that he doesn't know what he's doing, but I don't think that everything happens is God's design.
No. And that's if you're a person
because
that
if that
God,
was the case, there would be no free will.
Well,
and we have free will.
Well, correct.
If you believe in all of that, and you believe that we were given free will, if we're given free will, then how can everything already be set?
Right. And that answers my question on whether or not you're a religious person.
I am spiritual.
But you grew up as in some kind of
saved. I'm using air quotes, people.
Yeah.
When I was 16 in my grandmother's car,
they baptized you in your grandmother's car.
Not baptized, saved. When you're saved, it means you accept Jesus Christ into your heart.
All right.
Blah,
as a
blah,
Catholic,
blah, blah.
anytime someone tells me they were saved, in my brain, you had to be baptized somewhere in something.
Well, it's funny, those who are not religious to still do all the baptisms and stuff like that, just in case. So, yeah. I believe, I call him God because that's just the word that I grew up on. Mm-hmm. Is it a God, goddess? I don't know. It's a higher being. I believe that there's a higher consciousness that is there. Because I do believe there is some form of something, I mean, like, that triggered all this to begin with. I know that's your favorite word, but initiated life in general. It had to come from somewhere.
Mycelium.
Huh?
It's called mycelium.
Okay.
We'll get to that joke later.
I believe that there's something. Now, is it all being all-knowing? I don't know. All forgive. You know, and that's what I find the hypocrisy of not all, but a lot of Christians or religious people is they hate me because I'm gay because God says it's wrong. Well, God never said it was wrong. You said it was wrong. There's nothing in the Bible. There's one thing that talks about it being wrong, and it's not God. It's a group of people that were around prior, and it lists all the things they felt were sin.
Right.
And it happened to be basically somebody who's gay.
It wasn't just, but it wasn't gay women. It was gay men.
It was man lying with men.
So,
yes.
like, come on. Like, if you want,
lesbians are off the hook.
Yeah, lesbians are off the hook right there. Like, if you want to be factual, you want to be like,
right.
Well, this is what the book says. Well, the book says men can't lie with men. Sorry, gay guys. I'm not trying to like single you out, but like, come on.
Right. But Jesus never mentions it.
No, of course not. Jesus
never.
Probably threw it up someone's ass too. And plus, like, I mean, come on. Like,
I mean, who knows? I mean, if you want to believe, if you believe in the Bible, and I'm not saying that I don't, I'm not saying that some aspects that I don't, it's hard to believe anything that was written hundreds of years later
by men,
by word of mouth, by a man.
Yeah.
No offense, men, but
Oh, I mean, it is offensive.
word of mouth, though. It's like,
But I like to offend everybody.
well, tell a story and it gets back to you. It's nothing like what actually happened, right?
But
Word of
that's not
mouth.
like the Bible. The Bible is written, I don't know, depending on who you believe. Like, it could have been written, like parts of it were written down next to it by a man that was next to a burning bush. In stone.
In stone.
He made no mistakes.
But
he was maybe tripping balls, but
were not available when the actual book was written because they were found.
Oh, no, that's actually the burning bush is a psychedelic plant.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying.
You like how I have to clarify that one point?
Nothing was written firsthand.
No. Well, no, there is a story about how Moses wrote the 10 Commandments. He came down.
He wrote the 10 Commandments.
Right?
Yes.
In
he wrote the 10 Commandments in stone. So we have that.
Is that a memory?
Where do we talk about the 10 Commandments? Some book in the Bible that's written by somebody that's not Moses.
Yeah, amen. But I was going to say
hundreds of years later. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I was just laughing at myself. Sorry, and I couldn't get over the laughing at myself because I couldn't remember if that story was actually a Bible story or if it's just all the cartoons I've ever seen. And that's bad considering I was 12 years of Catholic school.
There is a story where he comes down with the 10. Yeah.
All right.
So let's be clear. If you believe in it, no offense. But don't tell me or anybody I care about that we're wrong because we love people of the same sex. Because there's nothing in the Bible, that says that, other than man shall not lay with man. But also, if you want to go there, why are you eating seafood?
Ooh. Or meat and cheese.
Or meat and cheese. Or why are you marrying somebody outside of your race?
Oh, yeah.
Because that wasn't allowed either.
Yeah.
So you can't pick and choose your sins. It's either all sins or none of it is.
Right. Well, my other argument for that is if God creates everything and everything is perfect because God creates it, then gay people are perfect because God created them. Like, if that's your argument, is the gay thing like, oh, okay, but like God created
doesn't make
everything,
mistakes, right?
Well, then, yeah.
I'm not a mistake.
No.
But those are the people who don't believe that it's a choice.
Well, those are the people
who believe it's a choice.
Those are also the people that I feel like are so small-minded, and I do mean that insultingly, and who have probably so little going on in their life that they care about what you're doing in your pants and in your bedroom. Mm-hmm. Like, I, no one will ever be able to give me a good argument as why they hate gay people. There's none. There is no argument. There is no reason. You cannot give me one good iota or anywhere you go towards me where you're going to say you hate someone for something they do in their bed, their bedroom, or their pants, unless it's to a child or someone tied up. Like, you have no argument. Like,
name one famous serial killer that's gay.
Oh, that's a dangerous one. Because some of them probably are gay, but they were fighting it so hard. But most
that's
men.
That's not why they're a serial killer.
No, well, I was going to say, only most serial killers, I know this because I am a murderer now, are straight white men. And most of the time they kill people because they've been rejected by a woman. And so they go and they kill the people that they are rejected by, which is women. And so they may have been gay or have gay tendencies because I believe some of them have fucked guys. So people will be like, well, that guy was gay because he fucked one guy. No. Fucking one guy is, whatever. It does not gay make you. Like, right. So I just was trying to like drive that point home.
No, I get you.
Almost all serial killers are white straight men.
Most of them.
Like, I think it's like 90-something%.
Right. Same with pedophiles.
Oh, yeah, pedophiles are most... That was a fact that blew my mind.
They're not gay people.
Well, no.
People are out there saying,
wait, hold on, let me clarify.
They're going to molest our child. No, if you're gay, you're not going to, more than likely. Not that unless they were like happen.
A 7... Let me clarify. 2 points. I was not saying that. That shocked me. The fact that most pedophiles are straight white men, like serial killers, that fact, shocked me.
Right.
I didn't expect it to be so... similar to serial killers, is that most pedophiles are, not all, but most are straight white men.
Right.
There is a bunch of people that will say that gay guys are in the realm of pedophilia only because so many gay guys date guys that are younger. But like, that gives me cause like to pause. I'm not saying it's right to date someone under 18. Never.
Right.
Although I have been a 16-year-old girl who was I could have ruined a guy's life. When I was like 16, I might have even been younger. I definitely dated a guy that was in his early 30s that no one knew about.
Mm-hmm.
And like that could have ruined that guy's life.
Right.
That guy tried everything he could not to give in to me.
Right.
Like I was that little Lolita. Like, no, it's okay. I'm different, you know? Like,
Right.
and that's just an honest, will get me into trouble with my family statement. Like, I wasn't sleeping with him, but I could have very easily.
Right.
And he all the time was like, you need to be away from me. And I was just like, what do you mean? But we work together. You know, like,
yeah.
You know, so like, I don't want to, like, that's different. I'm not saying
It's absolutely different.
But teachers, schools, like, that's different. That's not. But I am saying, like, there are people that will say, like, but this in gay communities, that's a different story. Like, if a gay guy's, that was me just going above and beyond to make sure, like, we're covering that kind of
I got you.
general statements, I guess.
Right.
Because, yeah, pedophiles aren't gay people. Drag queens, bitch. Drag queens are not going to go after your kids.
No.
They are not spending all that time and money on their fucking face and outfit to have some fucking sticky hand little snot-nosed kid go near them. That is never going to happen. A drag queen does not want kids at their brunch.
Mm-mm.
They don't.
Even though they are allowed if you go to drag brunch here.
Oh,
in
yes.
Alameda.
No, I mean, and they should be. Like,
Right.
I'm saying, like, we, you know, they,
I know what you're saying.
yeah. Because, but no, they, I'm trying to,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes me mad too. Like, why? Because you don't like those people. Now you're going to say all these negative things. Like, it's the same thing with racism. It's the same thing. It's like, just because you're so small minded, you can't even think of a creative way that to get those people
Right.
out of your life. You have
Right.
to go for the most easy, degrading thing you could say.
Now,
And it's so far from the truth.
right. And let's be clear. Not all Christians or whatever you want to call them, spiritual people of God, feel that way.
Oh, God, no.
It's becoming more and more where there's less and less people like that. As far as like people I grew up with, I didn't come out to my friends for years. I didn't even come out to myself. No, I came out to myself when I was 5, and I realized that the reason I like Charlie's Angels so much isn't because of the acting. It's the bikinis, and I mean
It's the
my first crush, Jacqueline Smith. Hello,
Oh, she was
if you hear this, love you.
We're at duckingreality.com. You can hit us up. We can give you all
And she
of Tracy's
still looks
information.
fantastic. Her and Cheryl had, and then of course it was, you know,
Faye
Brooke
Dunaway.
Shields and Julia Roberts, and, you know, so all them people. But what was the point of that? Oh, I knew when I was 5 that there was something different about me. But I didn't. I grew up in the 80s in Michigan.
They weren't real gender fluid.
We
out
had
there.
a black student when I was in 10th grade. First one ever where I grew up. And it was like front page news. Wow. So, no, I'm not going to come out because, you know, not.
Right. You don't want to be front page news.
I don't want to be front page news, especially that because, well,
that's just,
that would have been worse.
yeah. That's put back then. I mean, that's one thing I'm so glad has changed for the most part now is like back then it would have been a target on your back.
Oh, yeah.
For
my children, I'm so happy that they grew up, you know, they can be who they are.
right.
You know, my eldest is a they, them, and my youngest is a lesbian. She came out when she was 12. She said she was bi, and we're like, okay. We'll revisit this in a year.
Right.
A year later, yeah, I think I just like women. Yes, we know, honey.
Yeah.
It's okay. And that's what's great is even her dad, their father, with all his flaws, and believe me, there are many.
Right.
It's one thing that he's always said is it doesn't matter who you love.
Right.
I will always love you. And I'm very grateful for him for that because that would have messed them up more than anything.
Right.
And their mom is bisexual. And then there's me. And I'm like, very, according to
Gold Star lesbian.
not a gold star.
Oh,
Not a gold star lesbian. I dated men. I didn't come out
Oh,
till
that's
I was,
right. That's right.
I didn't come out till I was 30.
Yeah.
To my family. 32. Yeah, 30 to my family, 28 to friends.
That's for knowing since you were 5. Like that's trying to conform for a long time.
Oh yeah, and then it was difficult with a couple of people. They always thought it was just a phase, and I'd get out of it. And my mom was one of them. And I'm like, Mom, I'm 32 years old at this point. My phase was pretending I'm straight.
Right. Yeah.
Now I am actually who I'm supposed to be. But I'm very obvious. If you ever see me, I'm very much, I'm gay. Because my presentation is definitely more on the masculine side.
Right. You would be what most people, and I kind of should know this because of how many friends I have when I do. But like you're dyke presenting.
Yeah.
Is that, although I don't know if that's an acceptable term anymore.
I don't know.
But I feel like if you don't know,
I don't like the word lesbian either. I just say I'm gay.
You don't like lesbian.
I don't know why. It just doesn't sound right to me.
I have a few friends that have now said that to me. Like, I'm not a lesbian, but I only date women. And I'm like, well, do you know what a lesbian is?
Yes.
And that usually is my follow-up question to them because they're like, I'm not a lesbian, but I only date women. And I'm like, well, you know that.
Right.
I'm like, well, whatever you have to say.
It's
like,
just the terminology.
Yeah.
But gay, the true meaning of gay is happy.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be gay. Because not all lesbians I know are happy.
Me too, but I just seem to just keep being straight.
Well,
I'm mostly straight. Like, let's be honest. And I think I said that even as I was a kid. I think we talked about this too once before. It's like when one of my friends came out and one of my family members was like, oh, it's probably a phase. And like, they're like, oh, are you? Like, oh, what are you going to tell us next? And I was just like, no, but wouldn't that just be stupid for me to, at this age, be like, I'm just going to cut off half the population for being my soulmate? Like, right? You guys keep telling me, like, we get one soulmate. Like, that's your person. So don't throw my virginity away. Like, save it for the person. Like, so wouldn't I just be dumb to be like, well, I'm just not going to date half the population? Right? Like, because, back in the 80s, we only had 2. We had men and women.
Men and women,
we did have, we only had 2. I was going to say we had a lot of, like, cross-dressers back then, but like still
it's not the same yet. Yeah.
So we had 2. We had men or women. So like, why would I then cut off like a whole half of the, like, I was just like, really, like, why would I do that?
But that's because you're that's just who you are, right?
Well, yeah, I'm saying like I've been this kind of an asshole since I was 12.
No, when I was younger, I think it was more because this is what people expected of me.
Right.
I had huge crushes on guys.
Oh yeah,
and I dated guys. They were losers, so maybe that was
you were dating like the bottom of the pool.
The bottom of the pool,
right.
Just to say, okay, are you happy? Oh, you don't like these people either? Great, I'm gonna start dating women. No,
see, I tried. Guys are terrible.
I've dated some losers and women in the women's side too. It's more about
how dare you not support all women.
I'm just saying. So there are a lot of people out there who feel that lesbians do not like men. There are a lot of lesbians out there that don't like men.
Correct.
There are a lot of men out there, gay men, who don't like women.
Oh, yes.
Whether it be lesbians or not.
Mm-hmm.
I am not that person.
There's a lot of people that just don't like a lot of people.
That's true. And it doesn't matter their sexual orientation.
Right. Like, stop trying to, like, I don't know, qualify it, people.
Right. Because a lot of people are like, oh, you don't like men then. I'm like, I don't want to sleep with them, but I appreciate them. I have a lot of really good friends that are men. And I appreciate the attractiveness of a man.
Yes.
There are certain aspects of a man that I think are very sexy.
Yes.
I like that scruffiness. I like that happy trail that goes down.
Ooh.
I'm not a fan of a shaven chest. I like hair. Not on my women, but on men. Okay?
Right, yes. I would agree with that statement.
So there are certain, if I had to get to, I don't know. If the only way I can get to Faith Hill is by sleeping with Tim and Faith, okay.
There will be rules. Hardship.
There will be rules, right? But it's not, I'm not going to go out and say, hey, Tim.
Tim McGraw and just be like, here are the rules.
Right. We can do certain things, but that we can't do. You can do certain things, but that you can't do. And I'm not doing any of it. Well, actually, that's not true. There are things I'm not going to go into that I would be interested in doing. So
See, if I was a real big musical geek right now, I would be singing Meatloaf.
that's a fair statement.
So
Yes, I appreciate men, but I don't necessarily want to have a relationship with a man.
No.
Not a intimate. I don't connect that well. I mean, gay men, I connect that well.
Right.
But
it's a different connection.
It's a different connection. It's totally different. And
Yeah.
the intimacy is different. And, a lot of women like it. A lot of women can go in every aspect. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, though they still tend to date more men. That confuses me. But anyway, that's a whole nother podcast. But it's their it's who they are.
Right.
And I respect that. It took me a long time to really understand bisexuality. It really did.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Do I
necessarily want to date somebody who's just bisexual? Probably not.
Right. I was going to say, I probably identify more as a bisexual, even though there's certain things I haven't been with in a woman, like in having those intimate moments and experience or relationships, I should say. But I always do gravitate back towards a man. And when I think about my future, it is always a man. And I don't know if that's because it's so ingrained in me if it's because that's just how I am. And that's one of the reasons why I'm like, oh, I hate labels to begin with, always have.
I don't like labels either.
But in that aspect, and I have, when someone says to and I don't know if I would date a bisexual man. That has come up a few times now in my newly dating in the last few years. And I was more taken aback at my reaction to that than I would like to be.
I understand it though.
I didn't, and I still kind of don't. I kind of wish I was more okay with it. And there's a part of me that just is I don't know if, and I kind of do. I know some of the points why it's in my head that way, but I don't want it to be, and I'm working to change it or not change it because it's part of who I am. And if I'm not comfortable with it, then that's okay too. But I wish I didn't have that kind of uncomfortable spot.
I get that. I mean, I have I'm going to say something that's going to be probably people aren't going to get, and people are going to say, well, then you're not really gay. But as a female, I only want to be with women.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I was a man, I know I would be bisexual. I know it.
That makes perfect sense to me because I think, and this may be talking totally out of school for both of us because we don't have penises. I mean, I don't think you do. I have never seen. So
sometimes I wish I did.
Oh, I have wished. Oh,
I mean,
I have wished I have
penis envy, right?
Yes, since I was a kid, because I grew up with mostly boys, but I also, as a human being, get it. Men and sex is different than women and sex.
Yeah.
And there are women who can have sex like a man, and there are men who have sex like women. You know what I mean? It's not a broad stroke statement, but men definitely see and deal with sex differently. They can throw it into a legitimately hole, be satisfied, and walk away and never think about it again.
Right.
A woman's
there are women
not
like that though too.
That's what I'm saying. There are women like that, but for the most part,
it's not.
Most women are not that way. Right. However, I would say 80% of men are that way.
Right.
And it's for them, it's a different experience.
Right.
When you're not accepting something into your body, it's a different experience.
Right. And
that's what I'm saying.
In my experience, most of the men in my life, sex is just sex. There's no feelings. Mm-hmm. Right. Not all, obviously. Right. But they can have sex and just without that attachment.
Right.
Most of the women I know cannot.
Right. Yeah, same. I can have sex with someone that I'm not emotionally connected with, but I have to have a connection with them.
Right.
Or else, one, I don't want to have sex with them. Two, if I do have sex with them, it's not enjoyable. It's not at the end of it, I'm it's like bad pizza. Why did I even do it? You know what I mean? People are oh, sex is like pizza. It's always good. No, sometimes when it's bad, it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
And then you want to go find better. And it's now I have to and then what if it's disappointing again?
And again, my presentation, people, I know microphone. Sorry. My presentation makes people think that I am more that type of person because I am very butch, old school term, right? Presenting. You know, I have the short hair. I prefer men's clothing.
Right.
My stance is that way a lot of the time. But emotionally, I'm very much a female.
Oh, yeah.
And my ex, my kid's mom, actually, her name is Jen. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
She used to call me butch in the streets, femme in the sheets.
And that's be making a T-shirt that says
that's the truth, though, because I love to make sure that my partner is satisfied. Obviously, that is the highlight for me. Doesn't mean I don't want to be too.
Right. Oh well, I mean, anyone that tells me like in any of those like, just to like, anytime a guy is like, "Oh, I just want to satisfy you," hey, that's not true. Like, it's not. No one just wants to I mean, I'm sure there are, but like for the most part, no one just wants to satisfy someone else and just walk away.
Right.
Like, there's going to be one woman that's like, I do. No. Like, there's not one woman that's like, I just want to give you blowjobs and that's it. And I never want you to even touch me. Like, yeah, if she's doing that, she's probably getting paid. Like,
right.
Like, there's no woman that's like just giving her husband or guy or whoever blowjobs just because they're like, that's fun and I don't want anything back. There's no guy like, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's some that have kinks and whatever. Like, but for the most part, there's no guy that just is to any girl in a relationship. Like, just come over and let me eat you out for 20 minutes. And then like, that's good.
Right. Because women want more than that, first of all.
Well, yes.
And, I mean, I know women who've had those experiences and it's like, yeah, that's great that you took care of me, but why are you not interested in doing something else with me?
Right. Yeah. Like the reciprocation, like there's always like that thing is supposed to lead to more. Like as people, like that thing is supposed to lead to more. And not saying like it's supposed to lead to like sex and a kid and all that. No, but it is supposed to lead to a fulfilling experience for both people.
Right.
And that doesn't always have to be sex, but like both people have to be getting something out of it. And just doing that act is not going to be like just pleasing the other person and never getting anything. That's not going to be sustainable. It's not going to last.
Right.
Like, so why sell that to someone? I don't know. That's what I don't
know. We got here. I don't know how, but the road got here. So
now I keep just thinking about sex. Sorry.
This is what happened when it's, for me,
been a minute. Yeah.
Or 2 or 3.
Yeah. Probably less time for me, but it's been.
It's okay.
Yes, it is.
Bragger. Anyway, so respiratory.
Now we're into
We're going to go back to it. So this is what I've been doing for 26 years.
Yes.
And the pandemic hit.
Yes.
And I needed something else. I knew I didn't want to be a bedside therapist forever. No. Somebody who's running the halls. I don't want to be 75 and doing that because I would still be working when I'm 75. I don't want to be that person. I've worked with
respiratory therapists that were getting ready to retire and they just look tired.
Yes. I wanted something else. I know I was meant to do something else. And I've always thought about teaching, but I never really felt that I was good enough to do it. And then 10 years ago, I wasn't ready. I thought about it, but I wasn't ready. Quite honestly, is the presentation interview they have to do that scared me away. But I got over that quick. Not the actual
teaching, just the process of becoming a teacher.
Because I am a teacher.
Right, I mean, you are.
You teach as an RT. You teach students. You teach new employees. You're constantly teaching.
You
right?
teach patients every day how to breathe.
You teach patients every day how to breathe, right?
Like, that's legit your job. Hey, fucker, you know how you're supposed to breathe?
You're not doing it right. Listen to me. Learn from me, right? So it was time. Right. I was ready. And I ended up getting a full-time teaching position. Should I say where?
No. I mean, you can. It's
at a place.
Yeah.
And I was still working as a respiratory therapist.
Right.
Just keep that foot in the door and like, this doesn't work out. I can have a place to go,
that and respiratory therapists get paid a lot more than the teachers of respiratory therapists. Like
after my negotiations, it was $17,000 less a year.
Okay. So let's just put that into perspective. The people that are teaching people how to do a job get paid less money than the people doing the job.
in every aspect of teaching.
Well, I mean, in every
Yes.
kind of teacher, but like the people that are teaching people how to save lives are making so why would any respiratory therapist that's out there saving all the lives go back to teaching when they wouldn't make as
They don't
much
make the
money? Right.
And that's why it took so long to get adequate staffing.
Right, because I'm sure, you're in a shit ton of student loan debt for becoming a respiratory therapist. So, financially, you can't pay for your partner and their kids and your kids, and you can't have a house and a nice vacation and do all the things to, make sure that you're okay showing up every day to save lives of millions of people over the course of a few years.
Right.
Yeah, that is, I just want to drive that point home.
The only reason...
That is fucked up.
One of the main reasons I decided it was okay to take this position is because I had just paid off my car, or I would have paid off my car within a month of being there.
Yeah.
3 weeks later, my engine blew up, so I had to buy a new car.
No.
So I had the same car payment, making, at that point, $17,000 less a year.
That's a lot
which
of money.
is why I was in the Bay Area, mind you, where even though I was still six figures, I was still under the poverty limit.
6 figures and you're still under the poverty limit.
Yes, because if you're making
Welcome
under
to the Bay Area, people.
making under 117, and this was 3 years ago, $117,000 a year. Anything under that is considered below the level of what you need to survive in the Bay Area.
Oh, I've never been even near the.
I don't know how people do it, but
I'm just straight
part of
poverty
my
then.
reason is that I'm indebted, my own stupidity. Let's be fair.
Well, I
but,
mean, that does happen to a whole lot of people.
The
Let's be
housing in
fair.
this area is ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
It shouldn't cost as much to live in California. I don't understand it. We have more people in this state than half of the Midwest put together, but yet it costs us more money to live here than it does over there. It's stupid, ridiculous.
yeah.
But that's another podcast. So anyway,
Or at least another episode.
so I continued to do respiratory therapy on the side. I was working ridiculous hours, anywhere from 12 to 18 days in a row between the two jobs.
Right, yeah.
And then I got promoted in April of this year to the director of clinical education. Not quite 6 figures, but the gap is much better than what it was. Much better than what it was. And I didn't have time. I'm teaching full time. I'm doing this job. And our director of the program at that point was gone. So between me and the director of clinical education at the time, Rita, we were doing 3 jobs between the two of us. And I had to make a decision. And I just didn't have time. And by then, my music was going somewhere. And I really didn't want my weekends to be every other weekend working at a hospital. I wanted my weekends to be about me.
Right. Which you deserve after 26 years of healthcare.
Right.
And now, you've given it all at the hospital and, you worked extra hours and shifts, and I'm sure over the years. And now you're teaching and still trying to maintain a hospital schedule, which is, that's a lot of, breathing. That's not your own.
Right. And I know I'm not the only person in the universe to do that. I know people that work 2 and 3, 4 jobs to make ends meet. Kudos to them. I don't want to do that.
I don't know those people.
I do. And
I
you are one of them people. So you do know those people.
have
And
4
that's
jobs
fantastic.
currently.
I
Yeah.
don't have the energy for that.
No.
If I was 20 years ago, yeah.
I don't have the energy
At
for it.
55, I don't.
Yeah. At 42, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it because I'm rebuilding and doing what I have to do. And there are some days that it works great. And there are some days that I come home and cry, in my bathtub.
Mhm.
But so it's good that you knew that and that you burnt out, because you're not in none of my jobs are going to be that bad if I go to work and I fuck up. Nobody dies.
Right.
You go to work and you fuck up, someone
Somebody's
can
gonna
die. That's also a thing that I'm making light about my jobs. My jobs are not life and death,
Right.
and have not been for many, many years. And but that's a thing, your burnout isn't just your burnout.
Right.
Your burnout directly impacts and changes people's lives.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, I love what I do. I love being a respiratory therapist. There's nothing better than knowing that you made a difference in somebody's life. You literally, I'm out having dinner here in Alameda. It's a small place, right?
Right.
Or I'm writing songs outside a cafe having coffee and somebody stops, or they see you at Safeway. Hey, respiratory, doing good.
Right.
And you're like, I know you, but I can't remember who you are.
Right.
People come up to you and say, thank you for taking care of my mother. You made her final moments so much better. Or thank you for saving my husband, whatever it is, right?
Right.
So I love that. I love making a difference in people's lives. But you can only do it for so long. So it was time for change, and I made the change. I'm happy with the change. I made the right change because it's given me time to do what I really want, which is music.
Music! Yay!
So,
and your music is, we'll have to obviously put a link into your music right here. I don't know if we can put your music into the podcast right here. 'Cause I don't know if the bitch who does the editing has learned that part yet.
she should be fired.
She should be. She almost never goes grocery shopping either. I come home all the time.
That assistant sucks.
She has never bought me groceries.
Doesn't clean the house.
Oh,
what?
She's terrible. Sometimes she gets drunk and does other stupid things.
Yeah,
we're working on it. We're working on it. Speaking of,
excuse me, I'm out of drinks here.
Excuse me, my self-assistant. Can you please get me a new one?
No, music is music. It's true. Music is a language of its own, but there's no language barrier to it. Everybody understands music, whether you understand the words or not. You understand the vibration of the music. Yeah. You understand what the music is saying, what you're feeling. You don't even have to hear it. People who cannot hear understand the language of music. Right. And music is the best medicine. It truly is, because though it's not going to heal your cancer, right? It's going to calm you to the point where you might allow the treatment to work a little better, where you're not so anxious, you're not so tight in accepting things. Music is everything. Music is my life. As my tattoo says, music is my first love. It will always be my last, and it's the truth. Because I think one of my other favorite quotes is, why do you love music so much? Because when everybody else leaves, music is still there. You're always going to have music. And it's ingrained in me. My family's huge music people. Right. My mom, my dad, I grew up listening to anything from Merle Haggard to Barry Manilow to Foreigner to Bad Company to Ozzy. I mean, I have a wide range. Not so much rap. I do like some rap. Not all of it, but I do like some of it.
You are from the
I am from Detroit.
Yeah.
Eminem. Oh. Hello.
Yes,
so I do like me some Eminem, stuff like that. But we got a lot of great people from Motown.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're from Motown.
Yeah. In fact, the number one song, the year I was born, was Respect by Aretha Franklin.
Get
and
it!
I'm like, that is so appropriate. Respect this girl born in 1967.
Respect is shown.
So music is everything to me, and I started playing guitar when I was 12, but I had a little thing called ADD, but it wasn't a diagnosis at the time. So my instructor was told my mom, maybe when she's ready to focus, we can come back. So I never went back. I just did it on my own throughout my entire adulthood. And then my mom died in 2015, tragically, unexpectedly. And my mom lived life to the fullest. And for the most part, she wasn't afraid to try anything new. And so I'm like, what am I doing? So I took the money I got from, part of that whole situation. I bought a new guitar, and I started taking guitar lessons again. I've always liked to sing. I've always never really, I'm like, yeah, I think I could sing. I don't know. Can I sing? Whatever. Did karaoke. Everybody does karaoke though. So not everybody. She's shaking her head. No, not everybody does karaoke. A lot of people do karaoke, and you don't have to. You don't have to be able to be. You don't have to be a good singer to do karaoke, because karaoke is about fun, right? It's great when you have. When I used to host karaoke at said bar, we had amazing talent coming
Right.
through there. And just like with open mic now, we have amazing talent. There's so much local talent around here. It's ridiculous how much local talent
That's
we
the
have
best
here.
part about being in the Bay is like you can go anywhere to see anyone play, and they're
Yep.
gonna be like, if they're playing in a place that they could be possibly getting paid for, like they're gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, don't think I've seen someone playing in a bar, maybe outside, but like I don't think I've seen someone playing at a bar that hasn't been good.
Right. Exactly. You might get that on an occasion for open mic, somebody who just wants to play.
Open mics are different.
But like for the most part, I mean, even here in Alameda, we have some really good talent there. And I credit where I am at musically to the bar. I don't know if I can say the name or not.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Fireside.
yeah, Fireside is. I work there. It's on my
Fireside
social media. It's connected.
Literally saved my life at one point. I was not doing well, and then I found Fireside. And I met some amazing people. And though I don't frequent it as much, it'll always be near and dear to me because not only did they literally save my life, but I met some amazing people through there. I met so many amazing musicians that go there. I know the mic. Sorry.
I know. I don't want you to get too far away from the mic because what you say is important and your words are important. I don't want anyone to miss any of that. Like,
you should come to school with me tomorrow and tell my students that.
I mean, if it wasn't so early, I might. I could just run by in my morning jog. I'll drop you off a coffee and be like, "Listen, you fuckers, what she says is important. You want to save people's lives."
They usually find that out when they go to clinical. Wow, you were right. Thanks.
Yeah.
But so back to Fireside saved my life. It did, and I've met some, as I said, amazing, talented musicians through there, one of which is now my producer. I'm to the point where I'm recording music now, and I've learned so much from all of them through open mic, through just friendship and having conversations and listening to their music and how they came across and watching them play and how they play. I've grown so much over the last, how long have I been going there? I don't know how many years I've been going there. 5+ years, that I would not be where I am today if not for Fireside. Absolutely not. So I'm very grateful for that. But I've come a long way. I'm to the point where the first song I ever wrote was for she was still we were together at the time, but it's for a current ex. And she asked me and her roommate to write her a song for Christmas. This was the Christmas my first Christmas without my mom.
Oh.
So it was 2015. And I'm like, yeah, I'm 48 years old, whatever I was at the time. I'm pretty sure if I could write a song by now, I would have done it. She's like, yeah, no, you can do it. I'm like, yeah, no, I can't. So her roommate happened to be named Mike, came in and said, Mike, I want you and Tracy to write a song for me for Christmas. He's like, done. I'm like, really? I just spent 10 minutes telling her how I can't do it. He's like, no, we got it. So he wrote a poem, and I basically just took the poem, and I'm like, okay, well, this is a tag that keeps being, okay, so the name of the song is going to be called No Time for Red Wine, because she was allergic to red wine, and she only drank Chardonnay.
Oh.
Which is pointed out that she only drinks Chardonnay. And I just kind of turned it, this sounds like it should be the chorus. So I made this, or repeated this, made the chorus. So I went to my guitar teacher and I said, this is how I want this song to sound. I would sing it a cappella for him. And that's really when I started singing.
Wow.
He's like, you got a decent voice. I'm like, well, okay. I'm not going to pay you any extra for that, but thank you. And that's how it started. I would bring my stuff to him. This is how I want it to sound. Because I'm your very basic. I don't do bar chords. I'm not interested in learning a bar chord because I just can't. I have rhythm, but I have no coordination.
Okay.
So
I was just going to ask you what a bar chord was.
Bar chord is a certain type of chord that I don't know the true definition of it. I just know that your fingers are usually like widespread. You're holding.
So it's like a way to hold. It's like I'm trying to understand so I can, but also explain it to people that are listening to us. Like, so it's a bar chord is a way that you play your guitar and not, or is it like a bar of music?
It's a way you play your guitar because a lot of time you're going to have one of those fingers are going to be muting like half of the strings, which the bar.
Okay.
And then the rest of them are holding notes down.
Okay.
And you have to strum. I can't do that.
All right. Because I wasn't sure if you were relating the bar chord to the way of playing or the way of singing. That's, I guess, where my question
way
is.
of playing.
Okay.
And now somebody's going to be listening to this and say, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And it's very possible.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. So,
which is fine.
But I don't know what I'm talking about most of the time.
Open chords are your generic chords like G, C, D. They're very easy.
Okay.
You don't have to bar anything. There are thousands of songs that have been written with G, C, D, E minor, and then you throw in an A minor. I could write 500 songs just on that.
Okay.
Those are the most popular chords. You don't always have to have a bar chord.
Okay.
But bar chord gives a totally different sound, and it lets you do more.
Is that like
quite honestly
difference between like how Slash plays and how everyone else plays?
Pretty much.
All right. See, that I can relate to. I'm sure there's someone else that like has more like of a melancholy thing that I can think of, but like Slash is just one of the best.
I'm not going to explain it properly, but that's just the way I interpret it.
Like, Slash, Hendrix, like all of them are playing bar chords.
Power chords, actually, they're playing.
Oh,
which
now,
is a little different.
Yeah, see, now we just jumped up from a regular.
Yeah, we're not
like
going to
go
there.
Like, yeah, we don't.
Our friend Crystal showed me how to play the power chords for the opening of Jesse's Girl. Well, I was very impressed.
That is very impressive. She's very impressive.
Yes, she is.
Maybe she'll come sit and talk to me someday too.
Oh, that would be fun. All you got to do is get her laughing, and everybody's going to want to be there.
Well, that we're definitely going to need video for because we're going to have to show each other some respect before we were
right.
And, like, let's just be honest. That shit
the laugh
needs to
takes you in. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes. I do.
Anyway,
I adore her.
Yeah,
we've had many of the late nights in my kitchen.
So I've heard.
Yes,
from both.
Yeah. There may be videos, but we'll never show those.
Nope. This is a podcast, not a video cast. You're not going to see them.
Well, there'll be some video content from here because that's just how we're going to make some money. Hopefully.
Just not those.
But not those videos. No, there are many videos not many. There are a few videos in my life that will never see the light
I have
day.
several of those too. I probably deleted them actually.
I haven't really made that many thus far because I've been like, one, I was in a really vanilla relationship for a long time, and two, like, I just am so, what if it ever got out? Like, I've seen too many fucking after school movies and TV shows and shit like that. Like, no,
once it's on the internet,
it's
you can never get rid of it.
Like, I'm so glad we didn't grow up with camera phones.
Oh, me
when
too.
My boobs would be everywhere. I mean, my old boobs would have been, not the new ones. Maybe both. But I grew up like,
I only have one set. They're old.
I grew up like we had Opie and Anthony were huge in Massachusetts when I grew up, and like they were some of the first like shock jocks on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you were a girl that wasn't only into hip hop, you listened to Opie and Anthony. Like if you were any kind of like punk rock girl, you listened to them. And on Wednesdays they started Whip 'em Out Wednesdays, Wow Wednesdays.
Right.
So any trucker that had Wow on them, you would flash your boot. Like, and I've heard out here had different DJs had different terms because they were like, oh yeah, no, that's also like so and so out here, like hot beer and free wings, and like all of them have had, like, you know what I mean. Those are the other guys from the East Coast that I've heard of. But and I listened to them when I lived in New York, but when I was way older, too old to be flashing my boobs. But like those are all the guys that used to do
that
all
age
that kind
doesn't
of
exist.
I just put it up. I mean, I flashed my boobs. I flashed my boobs to you the other day, didn't I?
I know. We had a good time, the five of us.
I just remembered that. That was funny. Yeah, I mean, they're boobs. They're supposed to be fun, I think. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm a bartender, too. I've been a bartender for, like, what, I don't know, 20 years on and off. So cleavage is, like, my friend. It's how I make half my money.
Exactly.
Like, one of the other guys that I met out here, I walked in one day and he's like, do you always have cleavage showing? And I was like, do I always come here from work? Like, what?
Yes.
What are we getting at? Like, are you offended by my cleavage? You seem to look at them while I'm sitting here. Like, what are you trying to integrate? Like, I was just like, what is your uniform? Like, are you always in a stupid ass t-shirt?
Yes.
Like,
okay, then. No, I get you. So
But so music has been your thing, and it's your
Music is my thing, and I went back and I wrote that song. And the first time I ever performed, I was doing a where I went to, I don't know if I can say the name.
Yeah, you can share whatever you'd like.
Star over on Park Street.
Oh, okay.
Star
Pizza, but it's not Star Pizza.
Not Star Pizza, but it's the Star
music
on
shop. Park.
It's the music shop there, and I'm probably calling
Star on
it,
Park is a restaurant.
I'm probably calling it wrong.
Star Music Academy, whatever. We'll
anyway,
link it in the show notes.
It's been a long day, people. Don't hate me.
That bitch better write some show notes.
Yeah. So I went there for my guitar lessons, and his name was Will Hughes. He's amazing.
Hi, Will.
He's actually in Sacramento now doing his own stuff. So
good.
But that's how I started, is I would bring stuff to him. This is how I want it to sound. And then he's like, well, I have a recital coming up. Now, I started my guitar lessons again in like January of, late. So it was probably 6 months into it. So it was in the summer.
When 2020.
Because I had to get through the whole grief thing, right? And of 2015.
Oh, 20. Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
And he's like, no, I'm not pushing you, but we try to get everybody in it. So I'm like, okay. So this was after No Time for Red Wine, and I wrote a song all on my own called Blindsided. And he helped. This is because the person I wrote the song No Time for Red Wine for, 2 months later decided, I love you, but I don't think I'm in love with you. Mm-hmm. We go to dinner with friends. We come back. Let's go have a conversation on the back porch. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we should be girlfriends anymore. What? Yeah, I just don't think I'm there. I'm like, so who was that in bed with me last night talking about how happy we were and how glad we were and making plans for the future? Was that not you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I just didn't feel I should say anything. Anyway, it's a whole nother story. So I wrote a song about, because I was completely blindsided, obviously. So I wrote the song called Blindsided, and it was my first recital, and I did an original. So that's when I started performing.
Well, that's very exciting.
And after that is when I started doing open mic.
Ah, okay. So the recital got you the confidence to get to open mics.
Or at least the confidence to get up there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a ball of nerves, and I'm scared to death, and I got to have a drink or two. Now, not so much anymore.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, I can do this. I still get nervous, don't get me wrong, because I still fuck up.
Well, so you started doing open mics in late 2015 or early 2016?
I think early 2016.
Okay. Because then, so 2016, that's what, probably at least 4 years before I meet you. Mm-hmm. And so in that 4 years, you went from just, so you said you're still a ball of nerves, I'm just going to say. So in that 4 years, you went from getting confidence to even get on stage to hosting karaoke to hosting open mics.
Yeah.
So then like performing open mics now, and now you're headlining your third show?
First time headlining.
Oh, first time. Okay.
So my first show was at...
So you opened a few shows then in the last 3 shows in the last 6 months?
So I did...
you have a count. Come on, right?
I've done a few.
Okay.
So I've done... the first time I did anything outside of open mic was for the same... it's going to be at the local here in Alameda. Mm. And my friend Monica Barry has started her production company. It's called I Am Productions. And she asked me...
Oh, that's Monica's company. I know her. Yeah. She has a great voice, too.
Oh, she's amazing.
She is really... I really like listening to her sing.
Yeah. I wrote the song called Regret, which that's the song that hopefully within the next month you'll be able to get on streaming services near you. Mm-hmm. And my friend Falash and I were doing it because he plays the guitar on it.
I love Falash.
And she heard it. And that's when she decided she wanted me to do one of her shows.
Oh, wow.
So I did the first show in August. It was the first show that they've done. So it's every third Saturday at the local.
I like how you made it into the mic for that part.
Yes. Every third Saturday at the local.
You can adjust it. You can touch it. It's not a penis.
You're going to have... Yeah, it's always coming back to sex in this group. Just be aware of that. Every third Saturday at the local. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 7:30. It's $10 cover charge. And these people are great that they stay open till host local musicians.
That's amazing.
So that was the first one I did. And then after that, I did a show in Hayward with
Chad and Scott?
No, it was at one of the recording studios out there.
Oh, with Yolanda.
Yolanda, thank you. God, sorry, Yolanda. She's an amazing artist, by the way. And they have a recording studio out in Hayward that they do these shows and they bring in local talent. And
I was really, really bummed to miss that one.
Oh, it was so good.
Yolanda's voice is just...
Well, she didn't sing.
I know, but even just to be around her,
she's such a sweetheart. She's got such a calming effect, and it was amazing because it's not like playing at a bar or even at the coffee house because people aren't there necessarily. They're there for that, but there's other things around you, right? There's people ordering drinks or ordering food, so you have all that chatter. Yeah. It's not the same way. No. It was really quiet. So you actually, if you mess up, people are going to notice. But that's okay. I'm coming to realize it's okay to mess up. Yeah. I'm trying to not roll my eyes and make the faces because you don't want to do that, especially as a headliner, right? You make a mistake, nobody needs to know it. Sometimes they don't even know it's a song that's well known. They don't even know you made a mistake. Oh, this is a cool way of doing it.
Right.
So
or
quit telling them.
Yeah, or they're so into it themselves that they didn't catch it because they were paying attention to their own version of performing that version with you. Like,
yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then 2 days later, I did Fireside's Best.
Yeah.
And I haven't done one since. So this will be the first one.
Oh.
It's going to be October 15th, and it's called Performance of Pride because October is Pride Month here in Alameda. It's the first time they're actually doing something, I think.
Yeah, it's Jeremy and edit that whole part out. I don't even know if that bitch is talented enough to do it yet, but she will be for that now. I'm just kidding. I gotta be nicer to that bitch. If any of you haven't figured out, that bitch is also myself. So Jeremy and his husband or partner, who are in the middle of getting ready to welcome in their first kid, which is very exciting, also have been working on and coordinating the first Alameda Pride. And so it's October, so it's a whole weekend of events. They have opening is at Fireside with all of this will have already happened when this podcast comes out because it actually may be coming out. Well, I don't know. I haven't figured out when yet. But Alameda Pride, I won't be. No. Oh no. 15th. No, it's a weekend before. Okay. Mm-hmm. So October is Alameda Pride. Sorry, guys. My schedule just got into my head. But no, we're very lucky that Jeremy and his husband are putting on together or have worked so hard to get Alameda Pride. So we have like a Pride Prom, which is an all ages event. Then there's a run in the morning, there's a bunch of stuff. So it's really cool that you're doing like a performance to be part of that and to because Alameda does have a huge gay
they do
population and so LGBT. Yeah, sorry, not just gay.
LGBTQ plus blah 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 blah.
We love the rainbow here.
Yes, we do. We originally were gonna. So Monica, the one I Am Productions, had mentioned to me in whatever month it was. I think it was June. Actually, the first time was June. So it was in August. She had mentioned maybe you want to do it again in September. She's like, I was thinking about having just like either an all lesbian or LGBTQ like themed performance. And I go, well, that's kind of cool. And then Anna was there and she's like, well, October is Pride Month. I'm like, let's do it in October.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that came about.
Oh, I like that.
So I will be headlining. I'm going to start working with a band for the first time, or at least a drummer.
That's exciting.
I'm a little nervous about that, but I think I can do it. And Amanda DeMont will be the, so opening way of Touching Tacos. How appropriate. I love that name.
Touching Tacos is Anna and
Kylie and Krista and the one that plays the bass. Don't hate me. I can't think of her name off the top of my head.
Wait, is that,
they're part of Jethro Jordan's band.
Oh, I thought you were talking for some reason about the band, the Squeaky Band.
Oh, no. No, they actually performed in September. We tried to get them for October. And had they been there, they're going to be out of the state.
Okay.
But had they been there, they would have been the headliners.
Well,
for sure.
you guys could have maybe co-headlined.
Yeah. Well, we want to do a show together, and it's
Yeah.
going to happen eventually. But
I really like them.
they're great. So Touching Tacos is going to open and do a few songs.
Nice.
It'll be their Alameda premiere.
Yeah.
And then Amanda DeMont will be this person in between. And then it'll be me as
With
the
your new
headliner.
band.
So I'm going to have, it's not really a new band.
Okay.
I'm getting the Kylie who does the drumming and Touching Tacos, and for Jethro Jordan's band as well, is going to be my drummer. And I'm going to probably do a couple numbers with Touching Tacos in my set.
Okay.
I think they're going to work with me on the original, and Falash will be there as well. He does sound for all the productions, and he does backup whenever asked or requested. So he's going to be working with me on a few songs too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great time. I encourage you to come out, and it's not just supporting local artists, but you're also supporting this venue,
Right.
the local, and it's a great place to go in general. They have great food, great drinks. They do offer beer and wine, in case you were wondering.
I thought they were just a coffee shop, if I'm honest.
No.
And I don't get over to that side of the island as much. I mean, I do, but it's usually late night.
It's not that place.
My sister bar is around the corner from the
Yeah.
local, and so I spend a lot of time there. But if I walk in there before 1 a.m., the bartenders usually look at me and tell me to get out.
You're too early.
Yeah. Didn't you just close your bar? Why are you here?
Come back in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Shouldn't you be behind a bar somewhere? Get out. If I'm working, you should be working.
Exactly. So we're very appreciative of the local for allowing this. And we have pretty good turnouts usually. And I think this is probably going to be our best turnout so far, just because of the theme of it and the month that it's going to be.
Right.
So it's called Pride of Performance. Pop. P-O-P.
I love that. I like that. And the flyers
Or
great.
Performance of Pride.
Performance of Pride.
Yeah, I did it backwards. Just, Performance of Pride.
I love that.
The flyers are out. I have one at the Wally's right now. They're going to be everywhere. We have little hand ones. We have little posters.
If you want to give me a few, I'll
everywhere.
throw some out when I'm out on a miles.
I will do that.
No
Because
problem.
I have some in my car.
I don't mind guerrilla marketing still.
It's $10 at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Even just not for this performance. For any Saturday performance, it's $10.
Yeah,
covered.
wherever you are. Like, I think people, especially like post-pandemic and there's probably a whole now, like I don't want to say generation, but a whole like swath of kids that turn 21 or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That, or have been 21 now for 2.5 years that don't understand what a great resource your local bar is.
Oh, yeah.
Like your local community bar, your place that has regulars that are there every day. Like, and that can be any bar. Like, it doesn't have to be a no-name bar like most of the ones I've worked in. It can be an Applebee's. It can be a Outback. It can be whatever it is. Like, go check those spots and see if they have regulars. Like, if you find a corner bar or a local bar that has a good group of regulars, like that is going to be your community. Like, if you're not someone that wants to go to like meetings, like you don't want to go to an AA or whatever, or a overeaters or sex addiction or whatever, like as long as you're not fighting an addiction.
Yeah,
like
bar is probably not the place to go if you're
fighting an addiction. Go to one of those meetings. Like I don't even care which one. I don't care. Like if you're like I don't want to go to AA, then like go to Codependency Anonymous. Find one on the line.
Right
on the line. Go to one that's on the line. You know what I mean? Like if you don't want to go on purpose,
on the line.
Yeah. Go on the line to find one. Like but if you're a person that's just kind of lost and you don't know a place, go to your local bar and hang out there for a couple of days and see. And if that local bar doesn't seem to have the people that you jive with, go to a different corner. Because your local bar will change by the blocks that you go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like go hang out with those people, because those people are usually going to be the salt of the earth and the people that will talk to you about real shit and not hold punches and like will help you if they can.
And we have great bars because why? Alameda used to be a Navy town. So we have an excess of bars and coffee shops.
But
everywhere.
Yeah. Or if you're not into booze, like go to your local coffee shop, like go to the mom and pop coffee shop and sit there for a couple of days, have a couple cups of coffee and just watch what comes through and see if like that's your group. Or go to like, I don't know, I'm sure there's like GameStops or like, pool halls or something. Like find some place that some people can go for hours at a time and not have to spend a shit ton of money, and like go there a couple of days, and I swear you will find a group of people.
Yep.
And if that's not your group, that's okay. Go to a different spot and see if that works for you.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like that's a huge resource that people probably don't even realize is a resource anymore.
I mean, I never thought that. I mean, I thought Fireside was it for me, and I love me some Fireside. But, you know, for my own personal reasons, I took a break from there for other reasons. And
Right.
it doesn't deter from the bar. It doesn't deter from the amazing people that I have there. I just needed a different outlook.
Right.
And so I went down the street to Wally's. There's a great group of people there. I've made
Right.
so many friends, whether it be the bartender who we know and love,
Mm-hmm.
Crystal, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Go there. But go to the Benton too, because that's where this one works. Benton's another great bar.
Right.
And it's a whole different community. It's a totally different community. I mean, you might have a few that cross
Right.
all three, but you're going to have different people at Fireside, and you're going to have different people at Wally's, and you're going to have different people at Benton.
Yeah.
But they're all great people.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all great people.
Yeah.
And they have great bartenders.
Yeah. Support your local bartenders. Tip
That's
as well.
right.
If you don't know how to tip, it's 2 for every 10. 20% is your average. If you really like them, it's 25 or 30. And if you can't do math, get out your fucking phone.
Exactly. Don't have a $150 tab and leave him $1. That's not okay.
No. I used to work with a guy, Pete, and if you didn't give him a good enough tip or you left him the change, this is back when we didn't do a lot of credit cards, he would pick up the change and throw it right at your head. And he had I'd say
Really good aim?
like a 95% accuracy rating. And he'd be like, you need this more than I do. And he was right.
Yeah. And it's not just music.
No, yeah.
Artists in general. There's a lot of great artists in general.
Yeah.
In this community. And Preacher's Wife. They
Preacher's
do everything.
Daughter.
Preacher's Daughter. I'm
Preacher's-
thinking of the song in the movie. But
Son
yeah,
of a preacher man. The only person that can save me.
that's right. Maybe
But
not me.
Preacher's Daughter.
Preacher's Daughter.
Yeah, Kirkland. Kirkland's there.
Kirkland's there all the time.
Kirkland, if you listen to this, because you'll meet Kirkland at some point, we're going to sit down. Sandy, you'll listen to a lot of these people that Tracy and I referenced tonight will probably come across these microphones.
Yep.
Because they are amazing people. I wouldn't say Fireside saved my life, but it certainly made me stay on the island for longer than I was planning on it.
Mm-hmm.
I found the bar. I was just going to work there 1 or 2 nights a week so I could start to meet people here, because my day job, even though it paid me well, and I did meet a lot of really dope people through my job. I walked into that pun.
Ask her what she does, people.
I wasn't going to hang out with those guys after hours. We didn't have the same kind of vibe if we weren't working. And I, not to say their vibe was any less good than mine or whatever. Like we didn't jive like that, or we did, but not that we wanted to hang out with each other 5 days a week.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, how else do I meet people as a single woman with no kids and no significant other? And I don't play sports. I don't, my body's too broken for that. I didn't know, I'm crafty, but not for a craft corner. So it's how else do you meet people? As an adult,
Right.
it's really hard to make friends as an adult.
It's so hard.
It's
It
weird.
really
It's
is.
awkward. It's when you do meet someone that you're both the same of, neither one of you want to be too enthusiastic, because then that person's a fucking weirdo. Why do you want to hang out with me?
Because then you're too much for somebody, right?
Yes, it all goes full circle in a pod. Then you're too much.
Exactly.
But I found the Fireside, and then I ended up working there very quickly, all the time and every day, and then taking on a bigger role there because it was such a community place, and it was a place where we could do all things and start to loan support to other kind of artistic and creative people. And they do, it's a music venue if you haven't figured that out. They do open mic and live shows and trivia, and they support local artists by hanging their art on the wall, and whatever they sell they keep. There's no commission stuff for that, or if there is, it's a small, if you sell 10 pieces, we're going to ask for $40 so that we can pay for the marketing and stuff that we do. It's very small when they do ask for anything, and it's more as as long as you're promoting your shit, we won't take anything. So it's a very everyone deserves to be seen and compensated for what they do and say, and high water raises all boats. And like, that's a big testament to Sandy.
Absolutely.
But it's also a big testament to all the people that are there and help support it and promote it and do it and encourage it. Because without that, it wouldn't last.
Absolutely.
And like, that's why I'm saying like your local bars in this TED Talk on local bars is like, go there, meet those people, like, but then turn whatever into your community. Turn your coffee shop into your community. Turn your local bodega into it, or your favorite taco place. Like, if you're eating at a taco place 3 days a week, you're not the only one that's eating there 3 days a week.
Right.
Spend more than 15 minutes there and then like say hi to someone. Maybe if you have the money, even buy someone else's lunch, even though you don't know them. Like, start that fucking pay it forward trend that they do at coffee shops sometimes, you know, like, I think just don't be an asshole.
Which is what's the word I'm looking for? The subtitle to this podcast is Don't Be an Asshole.
It really is.
It's about my transition from respiratory therapist to teaching to becoming a musician, but don't be an asshole.
Right. Well, yeah, that is the underlying, like...
That's an underlying for every aspect of life.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and every message I'll probably ever say is like, look for your happiness, don't be an asshole.
Pretty much.
Like, joy is not going to always find you on its own. You sometimes have to help it. So, like, get off your ass, go find your joy, let the shit come as it may. Like, and don't be an asshole while you're doing it.
Exactly. You can be happy. It may not make other people happy, but if you make choices in your life that you feel like you need, it doesn't mean you have to be an asshole to the people that you're leaving behind.
That is the biggest message.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're not
there are ways to do it the right way.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, you've transitioned now, like you became a respiratory therapist and you were in that role for 20 something years. And then you slowly got the confidence to become a teacher. And now you're teaching, and then you're like, okay, this is my passion and I'm really happy doing this. But what else am I doing for myself? Oh, I am going to continue to teach and to change and help people that way. But I'm also going to do music for myself. And I'm going to do that by doing this. And like, so you're weaving and changing and elevating your life without ever saying to someone like, oh, I used to do that, but that's stupid. No, I'm still learning and growing and continuing on, and that's good, and I should be doing that.
As I said, I love being a respiratory therapist. And had I not been a respiratory therapist, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. I do believe the choices that you make in life are made for a reason. Whether they're bad or not, they're lessons. And just because it doesn't work out doesn't mean it wasn't meant for you at that time. Right. So I definitely know I was meant to be a respiratory therapist. And I know now that I am meant to be where I am at this point. The universe is interesting.
She works in mysterious ways.
She does work in mysterious ways. And every time you think that you're making the wrong move, I mean, you might be. But the universe is going to tell you, hopefully in a kind way. Yeah. But if you're not listening, kindness goes out the window and something major is going to happen. Like, I was told through somebody I know who does readings for those who believe in that, which I tremendously do, that if I did not, I was on the fence about being at the hospital still, just smack dab in the middle of COVID. And they're like, you need to make a decision, because if you don't, you're going to suffer the consequences in a physical way. And I ended up with COVID. Pre-vaccination. It was the worst month of my entire life.
You were really sick.
I was really sick. And it lingers with you, right? I'm like, okay, you're right. Yeah. That is correct. I think my body's been telling me that for years, because something's out, gallbladder attack at work. My back went out at work. My knee went out at work because of work. I think my body the universe has been like
sending you messages.
Nah.
That first knock, if I'm going to have to wait, I think I could hear it through the headphones. It may have come through. That was not with that first knock. That was her
knock,
head.
knock. Hello. Yo, pay attention. We need you to move on here. And I wasn't listening.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't listening, but I've opened my mind to the fact that listening is important.
It is. Oh, yeah.
So I listen to my body now. I listen to what the universe is trying to tell me. And I think there's another lesson coming my way, but I'm not 100% sure what it is yet. So I'm sure the universe will tell me.
Yeah. You just have to be open to it. I have learned, and it has taken me all these years. It's only I mean, I knew it at some point and lost it. And then I relearned, like, I need to listen to my gut, then my heart, and then my head.
Yeah.
Like my
Because
gut,
your gut knows right away.
Right.
Your heart and head may not want to hear it, though.
Yeah. So now
especially the heart.
Yeah. So now I try to tell myself and like my niece and nephew, like, listen, it's your gut, your heart, then your head. Like your gut will know whether or not you should do it. Your heart will tell you how to do it. And then your brain will tell you when to do it.
Right.
And that should be it. That your brain is only telling you when. That's it. That's the only opinion that it gets.
That's very good, actually.
Like it's because my brain fucks me up all the time. Like even before we sat down here, my brain started going like, I know what this podcast is supposed to be and like doing all of this. Like I know it. It's been in my gut since I lived at home when I was whatever and Joe Rogan first started his. Mm-hmm. Like because I remember that because he's a kid from where I grew up. You know, like I knew a girl that kissed him. You know what I mean? Like, so everything about him was always in the back of my, like, someone was saying something about him. So, like, podcasting, what is that? Oh, it's just talking to people. Fuck, I can do that. That's what I do for a living. Like, people let me ask them the craziest questions. Like, but I've always been scared too.
Right. But here you are.
And now it's like, even tonight before we setting up, I'm like, this is not working. That's not working. And I'm like, is this the universe telling me that like it shouldn't be? No, that was the universe testing me to see if I was actually no longer that scared of doing it.
Right. And here we are. But like for years, I let those moments derail me. When even in my gut, I knew it wasn't, you know, and in my heart, I knew it wasn't. It was just in my head that I was like, that's the excuse not to do it. Like, no, fuck that brain. You're stupid. Right. Well, it's just like when you tell your students when they're taking a test, don't change your answer because your gut's telling you. Your gut knows whether you want to listen to it or not. When you read a question and the first thing is, this is the answer, it's probably right. It's not always right.
Right.
But the majority of the time, over 90%, it's the correct answer. But then you doubt yourself. Your brain doubts you.
Yeah. Makes
you doubt yourself. So you change it and you find out, oh, shit. I was right the first time. It's a hard habit to break, though.
It is a hard habit. And like, if that's how you take a test, now just take that and like multiple times, like a million bazillion, because that's how you deal with your life.
Right.
And because nowhere along life, or nowhere I've been along life, do they teach you how to trust your gut.
I've learned myself.
Right. But like, you've learned to.
Nobody teaches you that.
Nobody teaches you that. Nobody even like, I don't ever remember them in school or anywhere else being like, well, you know, somewhere in your, no, like we know this is how you're supposed to do it.
Right.
If you follow us, then you know what I mean? Like if you follow these rules, then you will get to be here. And if you can follow these rules or you live by this way, then you'll get here. Like no one's telling me that I know anything except I should know how to follow that rule because that rule will get me to where I need to be.
Yeah. And it works in every aspect of your life. I mean, I know when somebody's lying to me. I know when somebody is messing with me. I've had a lot of experience of that over the last couple of years. And I've learned to start listening to what my gut's telling me because I know. I just innately know. Yeah, I know why this is happening. But my brain and my heart is saying, that's not true. That's not true because I don't want to hear that. Right? Trust your gut.
Always trust your gut.
So you were saying something about, was it obnoxious or awkward questions that you ask people? Oh,
yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's because I usually come from a place of curiosity and then I usually come from, I think it's just curiosity that I come from and openness. Like, and I don't come from a place of judgment. So when like sitting at the bar and someone tells me that they do something like not mainstream for their job, like I will have no problem asking like, how did you get into that? Why do you do that? Like, who do you like, how do you find your clients? Like things like that. Or like, when someone will be telling me something about their life and they're just like, well, she's done this and she's done that and that wife and blah, blah, blah. Like, I have no problem being like, oh, and so you've never done anything like this, right, Tom? Like, and, you know, even though sometimes my delivery isn't always like spot on, but like, it's not taken in the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like, it's taken in like that, oh, you're being funny, or like, oh, okay. Or like, you know, I try to meet it with the vibration that I need to, but like I don't always, sometimes I miss the mark, but it's always like an easy pullback,
right?
And I just love the conversations I get into. I mean, you've heard me talk to some of the people and like, you know, some of the crazies that come in, and I just mean crazy in a general, like when you work in a bar and you are in a city or city adjacent, like you get people that have various mental illnesses or people that don't technically have a mental illness, but they're the crazier ones. You know, when you're feeding alcohol to adults, things are going to happen.
Yes.
And I can usually pull those people in or whatever without much hoopla.
Effort.
Yeah, or effort. And it's, you know, and someone will be like, how do you do that? I'm like, oh, that's not the worst thing I've ever dealt with. And it's just like,
right.
Yeah. So,
It's
I mean,
connecting.
Yeah. I'm good
Being
at
human and
connecting.
connecting.
Yeah.
You're very good at that.
Thanks.
Which is why you're good at the jobs that you do, because it requires you to be able to do that.
Yeah. As much as I hate people, I really love them. Like, I love people I love people one-on-one. I love people in small groups. I think once you get out of a small group of people, you get like group mentality or group think or herd mentality. And that's a shit that I just can't get behind.
I understand that.
Because
I'm the same way.
Yeah, you can't hate someone that you know. You can't hate someone that you can see. Like, you hate groups of people. You don't hate individuals. But, like, individuals make up that group. So, in my mind, you can't hate a group of people that you've never met because you wouldn't hate any one of those people as an individual.
Right.
And, like, to me, that's a bizarre way of thinking. It's like, I hate that whole group of people.
Well, even as a teacher, you have your favorite classes as a whole. So as a whole, this class is more pleasurable than say another class. But individually in that other class, there's some great people.
Right.
And just even in the class that you prefer. So if anybody who's a former student of mine listening to this is just an example. Even in the class that as a whole is a better vibe, there are still those people in there that you would not probably deal with if you didn't have to, right? And that's just in general. That's life in general. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
But I think some people lose that. Like, and I think they start to hate.
It's all or nothing.
Yeah. And I don't think life is ever all or nothing for one. But you certainly can't sweep or brush everyone with that stroke. Like, and you can't. And that's why sometimes I get so, when I start to say something about like a group of people, I'll stop myself and be like, well, okay, I know it's not all of them. I know it's not this. And I qualify it even because I think so many people are so broad stroking things with people.
Right.
And like, you can't broad stroke a group because no group is all of one thing.
Right.
Especially nowadays when like you don't have to be. Like back 15, 20 years ago, like it was actually easier to broad stroke people because so many people were conforming and living into certain things. Like, you know, it's like in the 70s, they were like, oh, everybody's all of a sudden gay because it's okay to be gay. No, it was okay to be gay, or they were making it okay to be gay. So more people were coming out. It wasn't like the number of gay people exploded. No, the safety of gay people exploded.
Right.
So, or the safety of gay people was kind of ensured. So then the gay population could explode because now it was safer.
Right.
Like, or it's like, oh, now black people have to be everywhere. No, black people have been everywhere. But like now, and I can't say like the safety of black people has been, because it never has been. It like
still isn't.
No, it's still not. But like for them, it's like their unsafety has exploded.
Right.
So now more people are saying like, no, they should be here and they should be here safely. Like if they can't walk down that street unsafely, well, they can walk down these streets safely because I'll make fucking sure of it. Like
exactly.
That's happening. It's not happening enough, but like it's like a similar trajectory with the opposite kind of.
I understand what you're saying. I get you.
And like the trans thing now, like, oh, being trans or bi is just a fad or popular. No, it's more safe. It's more people understand it, so now more people can live it.
Right.
Like, it's not like those trans people hadn't always been there.
And
Do
again,
we overcorrect sometimes? And like, are some people probably having their kids like lean towards one or the other because of their own shit? Yeah, but that happens with everything.
Right.
Like, I'm sure at first a lot of gay couples were like, I really hope my kid's gay. But then when their kid was like, nah, I'm straight, they're like, okay. Like,
and for the record, gay people do not have gay children.
They can't.
If anybody's going to have gay children, it's going to be straight people.
Yes, it is.
because they're actually having children within that relationship, right? It's not how you're born, it's who you are.
Right.
And
well, yeah, and if straight people couldn't have gay people, then gay people wouldn't exist.
right. If we got rid of all the gay people in the world, like certain celebrities have suggested, or certain people have suggested putting them on an island or shooting them, which was a recent political statement that was made. Thanks.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
Fuck
Then
them.
you're not going to have over half your population of your healthcare gone.
Mm.
Teachers gone. Your salons, your anything to do with beauty or art gone.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to be left with? Not a lot. People don't understand that. They don't get it.
People don't get a lot of things.
People don't get a lot of things.
And I don't understand how you don't get some other things. I mean, I get how some things, like right now, like I have not been watching the news a whole lot. Like I needed to take a break.
I try not to.
I do like a general, like for a while I was really good. I had like, 20 to 30 minutes a day of like my certain news things that I watch. And then even that I was like, I just can't right now. Like, so like my mother said something to me the other day about a hurricane. And I was like,
Fiona?
Ian?
Okay.
Ian?
Ian.
I'm so far off.
Well, there was Ian and Fiona and
I know there's one about to hit the eastern seaboard, and they were saying that it's going to go from like south of the islands and Haiti, like they're going to hit.
Wow.
It's going to hit from like the southern tropical islands all the way up through the continental United States, and they were saying that it was going to hit parts of Canada that haven't seen hurricanes.
that just happened.
Yeah.
Because Canada got hit with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and I was like, I got nothing, Ma. Like, she was like, oh, the hurricane, we can't plan to go to the Virgin Islands for Christmas because, not that we have ever done that before in our lives. Let me just clarify.
There's a thought process for this year, however.
This was not what island are we Christmasing at this year? This was my dad almost died. My mom just had her 70th birthday. Like, let's do
celebrate.
a huge trip and celebrate. It's something they've wanted to do since we were like little kids, is go on like a huge family vacation.
Right.
And we were trying to figure out what we can and do and afford and all of that, and she was like, well, we can't do this because of this and we can't do that because of this, and then the hurricane. And I was like, I got nothing on what you're talking about. She's like, you have not watched the news again. And I was like, no, I have not. I work a lot and I don't need to be depressed. Like,
right. I used to watch the news all the time, and I went to bed feeling like shit.
Yeah.
I can hear the snippets of it the next day.
Right. So, like, I get, like, not everyone can know everything. And I don't think you should or have to know everything. But how you can be ignorant about how to treat other people or how to not be an asshole, that is what I don't understand.
Or understanding that everybody is equal.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing in the Constitution that states, if you want to go there, that you should treat this group of people badly because we say so. No, that's all in your head.
Right.
It's not in the Bible.
No.
If you believe in all that, it's not. There's nothing.
No.
It's old, white thinking.
Male
Predominantly. Yeah. Women tend to follow along.
Unfortunately, so many white women will support their white men in their quest to keep their white power. Like, I don't even understand that, because none of it is real.
No, it's not.
It's all in your fucking head. Like, there's plenty of pie for everyone. Just because someone else has some pie does not mean that you don't get any. Maybe it's just a different flavor. Like, maybe they have a slightly different
their slice might be a little bigger,
but that does not mean that you're not not getting any. Like,
right. So I don't get it. It's a whole nother thing. But I mean, it still has a lot to do with who I am today, though, because I had to learn to like myself. I had to learn to love myself. It's
a hard thing to learn. How do you think you got onto that path, though? Or was there like a moment of like?
Honestly, for the most part, I do okay. I still struggle.
Right.
I still look at myself and saying, "Well, you're single because you're not good looking enough, or you're too fat, or you're this or you're that." Right.
Yeah.
we all are guilty of judging people based on that, myself included. But it really plays a number on your self-esteem. And when you grew up with your mom constantly on a diet and talking about how you need to be on a diet, no offense to my mom, that's just generational thing, right? It's ingrained in your head. So I can't be this person because I look like this, or I'm this size, or because I like women. So something's wrong with me. And it took me a while to get there. And that's why living in the Midwest, I didn't come out till I was 32. I didn't even, to my family, I should say. It took me 2 years. I mean, why do you think I keep bringing the same person around? My friend. Wow. They knew, but they were just waiting for me, right? It is what it is. But when I hit 40, I got to the point where life, for those who are under 40, when you hit 40, the years go by fast.
Right.
Every 10 years, those years fly. And I realize I don't care if people like what I look like in a bathing suit. I want to wear one. I might have changed what I wear at this point. I'm not going to wear one piece. I'll be wearing the shorts and a top, a swim top.
You mean
that's what I'm comfortable in.
You're not going to be busting out a thong bikini?
Nope. Okay. I mean, feel free,
anybody
else,
could,
but not going to be me. I could, but I spent the most of my life keeping my underwear out of that area. So why would I purposely put something there?
A fucking man. I was like,
feel free to do it if you want to, but that's not something that I'm into. I mean, at least not that material.
I love the idea of a thong. I actually because I wear a lot of, I know you don't wear a lot of dresses, but I wear a lot of dresses and tight skirts, and I hate a panty line.
Right. I get it.
But I despise a thong. I used to rock them out when I was younger, and I didn't know if it was because my ass just got bigger or whatever. But my ass was never that small to not have a thong riding up my, you know what I mean? And if they could have a thong where it was just a slightly fatter piece that didn't immediately go up into your asshole as soon as you're there. Yeah,
just covered that area.
Almost like a surgical covering. Like that I could.
Now, being the person that I am, do I like women who wear thongs? Of course I do.
Oh, well, who doesn't?
But you don't have to.
They just wear nothing. No.
That's always an option.
See, I can't do that either.
Be comfortable. Just be comfortable.
Yeah. I'm going to wear my granny panties. You're not going to see them. They're not even granny panties. Pretty close. I'm going to wear them. If you don't think they're sexy, that's fine. You shouldn't be seeing them. They should already be on the floor.
That's true.
Unless I'm coming in lingerie, why do you care what kind of underwear I have on? It's going to be on the floor.
Exactly.
What? I don't need to have some guy telling me that I need to have a thong on every Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever because we might hook up. Now, why? If you're worried about my underwear, you're missing the point of why my pants are off.
Exactly. That's very true.
You walking around with a thong up your ass?
Don't get me wrong. But they all end up on the floor if things go the way they're supposed to.
Right. If we meet at a bar and I had no intentions of going home with someone else and you're going to be pissed that I have fucking Yoda underwear on. We have a fucking conversation to have, and this was a mistake when we first made out. I don't.
And it all relates to our original topic of respiratory because I am a CPR expert.
Oh.
Respiratory therapist. Hot enough to take your breath away, skilled enough to bring it back.
Ooh. That might be a mic drop moment right there.
Maybe. Ding. Just picture Obama dropping.
Oh, and then the musical talent for the music after the mic drop.
Exactly. I'll play some music for you if you want me to. If I do well,
that'll drop your panties.
There you go. Who needs tequila? Just play.
You got your breath.
There you go. But don't play every breath you take because that's a stalker song. In case people didn't know that. Police stalker song.
Okay.
But yeah, so it all comes back to that. Music is, there's a lot of sexy music out there. Mm. What some people like to call baby making music. Whether you're making a baby or not. Mm-hmm. The song Make It Rain by Ed Sheeran. Oh. that was in Sons of Anarchy. Hello. And even Harry Styles' new song, She, that is a sexy ass song.
Oh, I don't know if I know that one.
You have to listen to it.
All right.
It's a little bit on the edge.
Ooh.
Might be on that edge about with the police. But it's a sexy song. The music, and it's all about the music. It's not even so much the words. It's the vibe of the music.
Yeah. Well, and not that I'm a huge Blues Travelers fan, but their song came on today. And I think it's the first time like I actually caught the lyrics, and it was it doesn't matter what I say. Inflection's all that matters. And I that's a terrible rendition of it. It's probably not the right words, but like I have no musical talent, so let's just put that out there. But it was like, yeah, it doesn't even matter what I say. Inflection's all that matters. And I was like, that is, then it kind of stopped me for a second because it is so true. Like, and it goes back to what you were saying earlier, is like the music of language doesn't know language barriers. None. Because you don't have, it's like opera. Most people have no idea what the fuck they're saying in opera. But like you get the emotion of it. You get the
makes you cry, makes you whatever. Yeah.
Makes you want to go home and, you know,
do that.
Make a baby.
Or just pretend.
Yeah. Or just practice.
Yes.
And I think that is so important. I use music all the time.
Music is everything. Music therapy exists for a reason. It exists for a reason.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's how I kind of where I ended up where I am. I know we've kind of gone all over the place.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of a podcast.
But it is part of who I am too. Yeah. Though. So, you know, I am living out some fantasies right now and checking off some boxes about, hey, I'm recording a song. Yeah. Next, I'm going to do an EP where that song came from. So, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
No,
but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So if you want to support Tracy, you can. Her Patreon, which she doesn't probably even know what it is, but she
I do know what it is, but I don't have one.
Well, we'll be setting that up. I don't
coming
even know if
to a whatever near you.
Supporting service near you.
No, actually, I supported like some people. On
I was only thinking that you wouldn't know what it was because I know like there's Patreon and Twitch. Twitch is. Do you pay for Twitch or Twitch just?
I don't know.
There's so many that I have to.
Twitch.
Yeah. That's why I was, but I don't think he does a subscription kind of thing.
I don't know.
Like I will probably do a Patreon for this podcast because let's be honest, I would love to do this instead of working for everybody else.
Right.
But that's like a long term.
It's just getting paid for your time is what it is. You know,
I'm not really good at that even with my job sometimes. So having people pay me for something that I enjoy doing feels like a weird thing to ask for.
Yeah. But you got to.
You do. Finding your value, finding your worth, and then asking for it is not something that should be this difficult at 40-something years old or even for you 50 years old. Like, if I can give anyone any kind of advice, learn your worth young and then don't feel bad about asking for it. Because if someone doesn't want to pay for it, then they won't. But when people do want to, like, they do. And then that you'll just keep finding more people that do.
Right. And on my email for work, those are my two quotes. Music is the best therapy and know your worth. Because if you don't know your worth and you don't put your worth out there, nobody else is going to know it either.
All right. So then how do we tell people to find their worth, Tracy?
Well, listen to the right music. No, I'm just kidding. That helps. Know that you bring value to life, whether you know it or not. You being around brings value to somebody else because you do something for somebody, whether you realize it or not. Smiling at somebody can totally change their day. Telling your friend, hey, I just want to let you know I love you. You don't tell people that you don't feel are worthy, not that anybody's not worthy, but you know what I'm saying, that you love them without there being some worth behind it. So that's one thing. Nobody will ever die. When I die, nobody who's in my life will ever doubt how I felt about them. They will all know that I love them if they're my friends and family. And if they're not, they will know why we are not around each other anymore. Doesn't mean I don't love you as a human. I just don't want you in my life as my friend.
One of my favorite quotes is by my homeboy Tupac saying, just because I don't want you to eat at my table doesn't mean I want you to starve.
Exactly.
Or just because we're not. I'm going to have to put this in at better because it's
just because I don't want you eating at my table doesn't mean I don't want you to eat.
Yeah.
I think is what it is. Or something like that.
Yeah. I used to know it so well. And then so many people were like, you quote Tupac? Yes, I do, motherfucker. What? I love Tupac and Biggie. Yeah. Rest in peace, both of you. But yeah, like just because I don't want you at my table doesn't mean I want you to starve. Like just because our time has passed, people are a season, a reason, a lesson, or a blessing. Like,
that's
so
great.
It's so, see, to me, it's almost like something that I kind of grew up knowing. It was almost like a cliche, but it's really true. It's either a lesson, a blessing, a season, or a reason. Like, and if you look at it that way, all of those things, there's no negative in that. Because like negative things happen, but things aren't negative.
Right.
Like, and it's how you deal with that and how you let it happen and how you recover from it that matters. Like what happened actually doesn't matter.
How you handle
it or how you're handling it moving forward.
Right.
Because like anything that happened to you is the worst thing that happened to you. There's no one that's going to understand it unless they went through the exact same thing. But the exact same thing can happen to two people that have lived together forever, or like the same thing can happen to a set of twins. Where like their nature, their nurture, all of it's been the same, but how it lands is different because how it happens to you is how it happens to you.
Right.
Like, so almost, and not saying whatever you've been through doesn't matter, but it's how you're dealing with it today and tomorrow. That's what matters.
Exactly.
Because like what has happened is in your past. It doesn't define you. It changes you and it alters you.
If you allow it.
Yes. It changes you. It alters you, but it does not have to define you.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
It has been fun, but I think I should probably let you go home and rest up there and eat. And at one point, maybe when you're getting ready to release your second EP, we'll come back and do this again.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Tracy, because I think you gave us a lot of good insight on how to love yourself and how to not be an asshole.
I try not to be an asshole. Doesn't mean I always succeed, but
sometimes it's just fun.
Sometimes it is fun.
All right, y'all. We love you. We want you to find your joy and not be an asshole today.
October 15th at the local.
Peace out.